live, then at least it goes live and saved to YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. We are live!
Hey!
Welcome to this completely unplanned stream.
We've been talking for about 5 minutes and
We have.
it
This is how professional we
This
are.
is the trouble with drinking and making videos.
Yeah, and the fact that we haven't
Drinking?
done
What are you
one
talking
since
about?
2020, so it's like, yeah. But we just thought, well, let's make a video. And we thought, well, we were quite sad / genius in the sense that we were watching ourselves back live just to like get a gauge of how we would do this again.
No, I'm sorry,
And it was
you
like,
guys were watching us back live and enjoying it. I was cringing as hell because
in the
drunk Jack such a bastard.
the Doom Annihilation video, that was brilliant.
All I can say is all the people who've watched it and
Hey,
haven't got
there we
past
go.
2 minutes, I'm very happy, thank you.
Anyway, we're doing this video to basically have a look at the current state of Doctor Who.
Yes.
And what our
And
general
other
views
stuff.
are on
What's
going on in
could
sci-fi
happen,
at
what's
the moment.
going on with the Russell T Davies era, the second Russell T Davies, RTD2.
RTD2.
Yeah. And Shooty Gatwa and Millie Gibson.
How has
and all
no
that.
one picked that up as RTD2?
Oh no, it was a thing.
It's too obvious to not admit.
I'm just behind the cover.
Yeah, I know, but like,
So, as we were saying before, all we really know so far is David Tennant's back as number 14. Yep. We'll touch on that. And we know that Neil Patrick Harris is rumoured to be the Celestial Toymaker.
Is he though?
We say rumoured, but
going by the latest trailer, I'm like, is he though? Because I've seen like things about him. Maybe it's like he's like some weird super fan that gets a bit weird and stuff like that. And it's like, but you could totally tell that's what they could do in this current day and age. It's just like,
but it would just be too. That would just be pants.
It would be a big.
It wouldn't be surprising though.
No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
But it's like when they do stuff like that. When it's like what is it? When Richard E. Grant was in The Snowmen.
Yeah.
And he was
Great Intelligence.
He was working for the Great Intelligence at that point. He became the Great Intelligence later on. But
yeah,
the point was he was basically a nobody from the Victorian area.
Yeah.
And it's like that was fine because it's as a one-off thing, whatever. And okay, this is going to be a one-off thing as well. Maybe all 3 episodes he runs for it. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, it's supposed to the 3 episodes are supposed to lead directly into the 60th and then into Shooty's era, which is supposed to start as a festive special. And I'm hoping festive means actually Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be
Back to
nice.
its Christmas spot.
I mean, we got the trailer dropped on Christmas Day, so maybe that was a hint of RTD going, you're going to get the episode on Christmas Day after this.
It needs to be back in its usual spot.
Yeah.
I don't understand how anyone can run out of ideas with Doctor Who. You can go anywhere, any time, in the universe.
You still end up on a your random cancel state. Yeah, I was always going to swear then, but it doesn't really fucking matter, does it?
No, but the point stands. You can go anywhere and do anything at any point in time. So even if you can't think of a new planet, right? Okay, this is the planet from episode whatever. Let's go there again. But it's Christmas time.
Yeah,
done.
Exactly, and then you'll be able to look at something and go, "Oh, look, Skyrim at Christmas." I mean, that's a terrible idea. I was
actually thinking Spyrodon because they still have that army of Daleks that are just frozen.
Could you imagine Daleks with Santa hats on?
Yeah, we could actually. There's probably some out there that
the Ridley's all sorts stuff.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah. Well, now we're venturing on the happiness patrol. There, careful.
That would actually make a really good Christmas episode. Daleks singing Christmas carols.
Badly.
It's Christmas. Yeah, no, maybe that's already been done.
My birthday of Christmas.
So how do we feel?
That was sent to me.
How do we feel about David Tennant being back?
Well,
it's a Hail Mary, isn't it?
I mean, it's definitely shrewd business from Russell T Davies because he's obviously seen what's gone on before. As much as he likes to say that, Jodie was brilliant, Chris is brilliant, he's got him in because they need the ratings back.
He knows
that they do it.
They need the collective us, the fans, back on board.
Yeah.
Who would just completely disenfranchised.
It's just like disillusioned with
all 3 seasons.
They have to fix it.
5 years.
They have broken Doctor Who, and it needs to be fixed. And that's not Jodie's fault. I'll actually go out on the limb here and say it's not Jodie's fault. She wasn't a great doctor, but it could have been fixed with good writing.
The main fault was Chris Chibnall.
Yes.
Yeah. He cast someone who was totally out of their depth. Unfortunately,
he cast her. She wasn't quite up for the. She wasn't quite the right person for the role. That's not her fault. She got cast in it. I would like to assume she did the best job she could, but she had a shit script to deal with.
Yeah.
So devil's advocate, she did her best. I will go out on a limb and say that. But at the same time, yeah, it doesn't change the fact that all the episodes basically sucked.
Yeah, and the fact is, like, when you look at her just purely from the character of the Doctor point of view. You can go with the whole thing of it's bad writing, but Peter Capaldi, do you know what I mean? His era was plagued with terrible writing.
It was, definitely.
Yeah, and he elevated that, and you believe he was the Doctor because he had the action chops to do it.
Definitely,
and she didn't.
One of my friends at work has definitely pointed out is that there's a difference between a great actor who can take poor writing and do something with it, and a good actor that can only
do what's written on the page, which is pretty much what she was told to do.
Well, the biggest evidence for that would be something like David Tennant versus Matt Smith. David Tennant elevated what he got from Russell T Davies, whereas Stephen Moffat's writing basically elevated Matt Smith. And I like Matt Smith's era more than the others, but at the same time, let's be honest, Matt Smith's
I do agree with you. The writing from Matt Smith's
first season was sublime.
Yeah,
like Series 5 is my favourite New Who season.
Matt Smith, I love you. You're amazing. You were amazing as the Doctor, and you've been brilliant in basically everything else you've done. I've seen you do so far. Not that I've seen everything you've done, but whatever. Point is, it's kind of like his work.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it really was a case of like the writing was better than the acting, and that if you had that really good acting and that really good writing at the same time, it'd be perfect. But you kind of had it the wrong way around both times for those two seasons, those two eras.
Yeah.
I mean, although to be fair to Matt Smith, I think he got a few episodes to really sort of embody himself as the Doctor. But to be fair, with the first episode that he filmed, the Weeping Angels two-parter, he smashed it out of the park in that episode. And that was the first one he filmed. He just felt really alien and odd and very Troughton.
He never turned in a bad performance, but there's a difference between good and great. And I think
he had great moments.
Yeah, but great moments versus great all around.
Yeah,
I think consistency was what. His seasons were consistently good.
Yeah.
Whereas David Tennant's went from absolute dizzying highs to some really disappointing stories that just were only watchable because of him.
Yeah. I'll go through conflicting
fear
opinions.
You know?
Oh yeah, God.
Yeah.
But
got a hunch.
The honey. Marmalade. Is
not
see it? Honey.
Bovril or something like that, is it? Oh yeah, something like that.
I had a glass of that tonight.
I did that.
Really nice.
Yeah.
A glass of Bovril.
It's like having a cup of gravy, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's
You
great.
see, instantly, I don't feel so bad about my cringe from it. Instantly.
Yeah, well, when you're in a sticky situation and you fancy something savoury and warm, just go to that.
So David Tennant's doing 3.
Yeah, he's doing 3 specials.
Well, three specials, possibly 4 if you count the 60th anniversary. But I don't know how they work.
Well, I think it starts from the 60th anniversary. So you have 3 episodes from the 23rd of November.
Oh wow, that's a long break.
Yeah, which is why there's been some speculation saying that maybe it will start earlier. They just haven't announced it yet.
I thought what they were going to do is they were going to do 3 episodes, and the third one was going to be the 60th.
I thought it was going to culminate in.
I think it starts, but correction in the comments for anyone who might be watching now or later afterwards.
It would make more sense to do it that way, because that way you could build up to something to be your 60th anniversary. Because when they did the 50th, it was they hadn't really been building up to the Time War, but they had mentioned it so many times, it kind of works as it's being built up to.
Yeah.
And with this, it's kind of like you're dropping straight in with David Tennant, brand new Doctor, brand new.
Yeah, well, technically,
14th Doctor.
14th, even though he's acting exactly the same as he did when he was the 10th Doctor. And I thought, maybe he's the 14th, but he's acting completely differently from the 10th. But no. The whole Alonzi is in there in that trailer. What's the point?
Jodie's costume.
He probably turned around and was I'm not wearing that shit. Yeah. And there was a whole furore about, how dare he not wear it because, Sacha Dhawan wore it. And it's like, he's David Tennant. Who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? If he doesn't want to wear it, he won't wear it.
Jodie Whittaker, Sacha Dhawan, David Tennant. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
You've got 2 good actors, and then you've got a national treasure.
Yeah,
exactly.
So let's be honest, it's not that big a deal.
Well, one good actor and a national treasure.
Look, you
can't let it go, mate. It's just not.
No, I like Sacha Dhawan.
Yeah.
How dare you say Sacha Dhawan's not a national treasure?
Oh yeah, even worse. bless him.
No, Sacha Dhawan really was genuinely good as the Master. I thought he
He
was very
was.
good.
I liked how they resolved his. He sort of adjusted his performance
He was the
in
best-
the last episode.
It was the
very
best
last
bit
episode.
of the last. It was the best bit of the last story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And
like,
he
by
was-
the way, he was
And
like
it-
saying to Kate Stewart,
it's actually really
your dad
funny.
was an idiot.
It was always one of these things. I love the Master. I always want the Masters to win.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Well,
From Roger Delgado, I've always been like, oh, the Master's just so cool. I want
Yeah,
him to
he
win.
was suave.
And
He's
then,
smart,
and then
he's charismatic, he
to a
knows
certain
what he's
extent,
doing,
for at least half the story, he
Yeah.
does win. I'm like,
Well, yeah.
yeah, Sacha Dhawan's going to take over the Doctor's body.
Yeah, that's it. And then maybe it'll lead into the 60s because, like, oh, the Master, a bit like the fucking end of time when it was like, oh, now everyone in the world is me. And it's like, it's a bit of a stupid idea, but it's like, okay, right, how are you going to stop him now? And then
thing is,
welcome
goes
into the Master Race. Oh,
God.
such a terrible joke.
Oh, that's a
and he's
brilliant joke. Shut
it's
your face.
not, it's
It's a
awful.
brilliant
It's a
joke.
bit on the nose. He's got the bleached blonde hair in that episode as
There's
well.
very few nouns I will die on, but that is one of them.
Well, that happened to be my worst episode of the new series.
As a
Joey,
joke,
so there we go.
it only works because it's fucking John Sims doing it. And
John
it's the
Sims is
Master.
hamming it up to the fucking
John Sims
mountain.
He's chewing the scenery.
he's loving it though, and that's the best
At
point.
least he's having fun.
He's having fun. When he's having fun, you're having fun. That's
Yeah.
something. It's like when they do his reappearance at the end of the episode with Peter Capaldi in it, and there was
I love his
Well, he actually for me,
Oh, yeah.
he feels out of
Yeah.
body like the Master
Yeah.
by then.
you build up to because you didn't realise it was him in makeup all the way through, but it's like
Evolution of the Geek MP Productions. I think it ends in the 60th, but nothing has been confirmed. But I can only assume that makes more sense.
Well, yeah.
Welcome, Evolution of the Geek. Hello, sir.
I
Are you Geek Union with a different name? You may well be.
I
could
feel
be
really
wrong.
bad that all three of us are needing to read.
We all got excited. What was the first comment? Uncanny happen.
It's like,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yes, he is Geek Union. Yay! All right, Malcolm, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Yes, so I agree. I think it makes more sense to me that it culminates in the 60th and then generates into Shooty, and then there's a little gap, and then you got the Christmas special, and then
that makes
It's
a lot
like
more sense to me.
it's like anniversary of November, whatever happens for 60th, and then
So
November.
there's actually 2 points about the next 3 episodes, though, because we've got Neil Patrick Harris. I'm not sure which story he's going to appear.
I think maybe from
I think
right from the
he
beginning.
is I
He's a
love him
terrific
as an
actor.
actor.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
brilliant.
even when it's my first appearance I saw Neil Patrick Harris is in Starship Troopers.
Yeah,
And he's brilliant in Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers, best
He's
film ever.
he's one of the best bits.
check my
of
notes.
the psychic, he goes and does the whole ferret thing with them. This mum's like, oh yeah, I'm getting
He psychically
rub off
controls
that.
his ferret to go say, yeah, I told my ferret there's a
And then, he does,
grub on my leg."
and then it's like the descent from being like this sort of charming, intelligent dude to I'm now running the military.
military.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Okay, what will we do?
and he does a really good job. And now I'm kind of like, well, I first heard he was going to be in like the Celestial Toymaker. I was like, that's a brilliant choice.
Yes.
Thing is, Neil Patrick Harris is a good enough actor. He could basically do any role you wanted to give him in Doctor Who. Let's be honest here. If you wanted to turn around and say, like, okay, he's going to be the voice of what's the most generic thing you think of? A cyber commander, right? That's the most generic voice.
Yeah,
you
or
think of.
Cyber Leader or something.
Cyber leader, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be a slightly more charismatic or slightly different Cyberman.
Yeah.
It's going to be Neil Patrick Harris's voice in there.
I don't know.
I can see it
Neil
working.
Patrick Harris as a Sontaran and it will work.
Yeah, well, that's my point, isn't it? It's kind of like it would work, and it doesn't matter what you do. And the whole thing of being the Celestial Toymaker is like, okay, you're doing an old reference. Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's good for the 60th anniversary. You
I
want to
mean,
do an old
it's
reference.
on point with Russell T Davies for making episodes that don't exist.
Yeah.
So that when you go, oh look, just check out this old story.
Well, like the Macro Terror. There we go. Hello, David.
Why are you leaning in again?
Oh,
I can't see. You
put it
haven't
all the way over
made
there.
it really tiny.
Put it all the way over there.
Well, how do you make it bigger
I
then?
don't
Oh,
know.
sorry, we're using
No, no,
StreamYard. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we haven't done this for a long time. Hey guys, I'm not going to lie. The last trailer that came out has me a bit worried. First trailer was great. Yeah,
I agree.
I agree. Because so many. It feels like a forgotten episode from series 4. Do you know what I mean? Like nothing.
like
nothing's really
suddenly made
changed.
a new episode.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, okay, it's probably going to be better than if Chris Chibnall was done, and we're not going to deny that. However, it's like, it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere new.
But also,
you know what I mean?
from that
Obviously,
trailer,
not shooty later,
it doesn't look like the Celestial Toymaker.
No, well, he's just going.
It was just like he's doing this weird, really weird put on German accent. And I was
and that's not what the Celestial Toymaker did.
I mean, to be fair, the Celestial Toymaker is a character that exists outside time, so you can pretty much do whatever you want with him.
Yeah.
But by the same token, you look at it and go, I don't know if that's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it's something he's decided, right, this is a villain, a one-off villain from the classic series that we haven't used yet. Let's use this as a sort of a tool to try to explain how Donner's back in it and why he's David Tennant again.
I mean, if he was going to do gateway villains, why don't you choose the Autons again?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it was a perfect one for like the colour to transition to colour.
I agree. Donner coming back is not the best idea.
No, I don't like
that. This comes back to the theory I had. I said this to yourself ages ago.
Yeah.
Right. My little theory for this is that the reason he's gone back to David Tennant is because the Doctor's stuck in a weird little regeneration loop sort of thing.
Yeah.
And what he's going to need to kickstart a new regeneration properly is the regeneration energy from Donner, which is what's going to turn him into
Shuri Gatwa.
But you know every idea you have is going to be 10 times better than what we do.
Well, yeah.
I know that, but I'm trying my best to
this
make
is
this
what
positive.
we're trying to make this a... Yeah, exactly. We're
want
trying
to be positive.
instill some
Yeah,
hope
no, true,
in people.
true. I have been so downtrodden over the last 5 years that I'm really struggling. I got really excited, and then I don't know.
Well, the more things started coming out, it was just like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Didn't Russell C. Davies recently say about the whole Maverick Chen? Well, we mentioned Maverick Chen is still the same series.
It's like the first time that we've mentioned that on screen.
They mentioned another character that doesn't exist. Only exists in like 1 or 2 episodes, and then the rest of them are deleted. It's like,
hang on, let's go back for his tracking site.
Stop making references to stories that don't exist.
The macro. and now Maverick Chen. And don't get me wrong, I would rather just them have found the whole of Dalek
Master Plan.
I'll
watch that instead.
Yeah, it's just like do that. And maybe that's why they're hitting that, or maybe I'm just getting my hopes up too high.
But no, I was never a fan of Donna's character. The fact that she's back is like,
at the very beginning,
a character didn't like coming back again.
I knew you'd love that one.
At the very beginning, I was a fan of the Donna character because it was very much a case of they were playing it as, she's just a person.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
it's only the end when they messed it up.
They go to the Dr. Donna bollocks.
Well, the thing is, what I thought was a breath of fresh air as well is that the past 2 companions were basically wanting to jump the Doctor's bones, and for me that infuriated me because it's just like, why?
Yeah.
At least now you have her that is just like, I just want to be friends. I want to be your mate, and that's like good. That's how the Doctor. You want to be my mate.
Sorry,
some things like that.
So many things annoy me about her character.
Yeah, and it's just like.
It doesn't do wood. So, am I bothered? Yeah, no. But overall, like towards it, I'd say the one sort of thing that I really did like from Donna was in the not Vampires of Venice. That's Matt Smith. The Fires of Pompeii, and she's like, please just save someone. And you can tell that she does show her acting chops in that scene.
Yeah,
and for me, that was
Kate's got the talent to do it, and fair enough. And to be fair though, the whole it doesn't do wood pissed me off a lot less than the whole Matt Smith gets out as it doesn't work. I've got an app for that. When he's with fucking James Corden.
And then
I've got an app for that on his fucking screwdriver.
I'm less bothered by those sorts of things.
David Herman says, yeah, I agree. I feel it is a good time for RTD to return as it can't get much worse, can it? Well, we'll wait and see.
We will see.
Hope we see lots of Bernard Cribbins. I heard he got some time on screen. Yeah, he did, because there were set photos of him in the wheelchair just before he passed. Bless him.
Yeah, so, I do feel. My brother said it the other day on the group chat on Facebook. He was like, "I'm definitely going to shed a tear when I see."
Oh God, yeah, and you know it's going to be like in loving memory of Bernard Cribbins, and it's like,
and he's so good in the. He's actually
the only good bit of.
Do you know what? He actually outshines David Tennant in that last story.
Yeah. I agree.
You know what?
David Tennant's a whiny bastard in that last story. I'm going to die.
Thing is,
you're not old. Oh, don't you go anywhere. There's a point between the Doctor and Will's character. You're like, oh,
she was. Well, the thing is, I was like,
works,
she was better with you. She was better with you, and it's like
it works because it's those two.
Yeah.
This goes back to what I was just saying. You've got two
Both
people,
really
really
good.
good actors,
Yeah.
doing something.
Exactly.
You could argue it's an average script, but it doesn't matter because they're both so good. It elevates it to the point of
it
greatness.
elevates that sort of average scripts.
Yeah.
And it's,
But don't get me wrong. Russell T Davies does do drama well.
Yeah.
He gets
characters
feelings.
spot on.
You
Yeah.
just can't do science fiction for love nor money.
Yeah.
There are times you get to. He does a brilliant build-up. You get to the final story, and the final story is usually terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it's magic. We're just going to save the day by reversing everything.
Yeah, we're part of the Eye of the Storm.
We're in the Eye of the Storm, so we can remember everything, and everything got reversed.
Oh, this
But
one's
10 minutes ago, you just said this is a paradox machine, and you can't just shoot it with a gun.
This
And
one's
then you
for
get
Tom.
shot with a gun, and it resets everything. That doesn't make any sense.
This one's for Tom. The Osterhagen key. Yeah.
Why would you
make
set
that?
bombs around the world that would destroy the whole planet?
And the
Doesn't make any
white
sense.
star. Yeah, because we'll just if the Daleks try and kill everyone, we'll just kill ourselves.
I'll destroy everything you both just said with the phrase, Russell T Davies made a series called Aliens versus Wizards.
And I didn't watch it.
He also did Dark Season as well. I've got that on DVD. I'll have to sit down and watch it at some point. It was good. It was like a 90s children's television program. It's got Jacqueline Pierce in it.
Oh, Sutherland. Nice. Oh, yeah. She's nice.
So, let's move on to what you think's actual. First of all,
Well, we got a few more comments. So
organs.
you ain't mating with me, sunshine. Oh yeah. I know this is a bit weird or whatever, but I always want a connection between doctors who play different characters in the universe. I really hope they bring the sorry, it's a bit far.
I hope they bring the
Ogrons. Yeah, but we were talking about that, rather than a Dragoon, they could have just brought back the Ogrons because
perfectly. Policeman. And it would have made more sense than the rhino faced people anyway.
Yeah, exactly, because the sort of the Sontaran wannabes who happen to be basically wearing the same uniform, they just happen to have rhinos.
I was about to go, Maho.
Sorry, to be fair, that makes me laugh whenever I see it, and it's just like, he points to Don and goes, Maho. It's like, and I half expected to turn around and go, who you calling a hoe?
What, the rhino?
Yeah, or no, when she turns around, he literally looks at Donna and goes, Maho. It's like, this is Maho.
I'm not Maho.
Yeah.
See, I can even yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, we're not sort of like just hating on it. Well, not really hating it, but it's just we do really want it to be good because we've had so much shit in the last 5-6 years, and it's like, okay, originally when Russell T Davies announced that he was coming back, it was like, right, well, that's a clear indication that he's trying to steady the ship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's a big apology.
But at the same time, it's almost like
let's not
would have been
play
nice
it
to have
down.
someone else
Getting
new.
David Tennant back is let's try and get the old fans back on board.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's what it's designed
Okay,
for.
well, with that in mind, here's my question to both of you. You've seen the trailers that have come out so far.
Yeah.
With that information and the fact that Russell T Davies is trying to right the ship,
Yeah.
what do you think the first episode's going to be?
The 60th anniversary? No. I'm joking.
Like, what do you think?
by saying that. Yeah.
Roughly speaking, what do you think the plot's going to be?
Well,
based on what you've seen so far.
I think it's going to be. Well, the thing that I got from the trailer was the whole concept of the Doctor not knowing who he is anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's degenerated or regenerated.
He's regenerated into someone else.
He's just like, look, something's happening to me.
Haven't we already had that though?
Have we?
Yeah.
When?
With Peter Capaldi.
Oh yeah,
Am
good
I a good man?
No,
He knows who he is.
He's regenerated into someone else who someone who looks like someone I've met before. No, because that's already happened with Colin Baker. No.
Yes and no. He makes no comment about the fact that
he was in fucking
the President's
Resurrection
Guard
of the
in Arc of Infinity is him. It doesn't make any. It doesn't make
No,
any
the point
reference to
I'm
that.
making.
There's no reference to that at all,
No.
other than the fact it's just the same actor played two parts.
Well, yeah, they have a habit of doing that in the new series where, like,
You can
with
continue
Martha,
to
like,
be
oh,
additional,
she was
or you can
You can make a point, but just at least make it valid.
Yeah. There's no editing here, no
I'm just
continues
open-minded
here,
when it
my
comes-
friend.
I'm just open-minded when it comes to RTD. returning. I really want it to be good, but I like you guys said, we've had shite for years.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
And that's
I agree.
Yeah.
And so after what he said in certain interviews, makes you wonder what route is he going to take.
Well, there's that.
Is it going to be a 2005 entertainment series, or is it going to be a lecturing 2020, 2023
Well, look,
series?
RTD is not the same person he was back then because so many years have passed. Of course, people have changed.
Yeah.
We're not the same people we were in 2005 because, of course, we're not.
No.
But
I enjoy it just matters less as I get older.
In fact, that's just when I was like really diving into classic Doctor Who thanks to this motherfucker right here. You know what I mean? And then it gave me a whole new perspective on it. It was just like,
the thing is,
it used to be really good.
it depends what happens, and that's how it's affected us. Because the thing is, the three of us have basically retreated into other things or classic Doctor Who.
Yeah.
We haven't really done anything Jodie-wise.
Well, that's because it's terrible and I stopped watching.
No, mate, that's the point. That's the
Sorry,
point.
I don't
That's the
mean,
point.
I can't.
Too much rage.
One of the things that really frustrated me about Power of the Doctor is when you had Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy, and Colin Baker and all that, and it was just like, see, he knows when he wants to, he can write decent dialogue for classic Doctors. You know, the Power of the Doctor.
No, that was definitely written by Russell.
You reckon it was RTD?
Yeah. I've got no faith that Chibnall wrote any of those.
No, fair enough.
I have no faith that he wrote
any of that section.
I think Russell T Davies went, you need to add the classic Doctors in.
That's a good point, actually, because the way that the shooting comes about is rumoured to be a similar way how they're trying to help him, like David Tennant's trying to help him get to be the Doctor, and it would make sense to it link back to when Jodie's seeing all like the old classic Doctors, and they're like, we need to do this, blah blah blah. So, and he's on that kind of same sort of like mountain, sort of hill range, and he's like, what the hell's going on here, kind of thing. So maybe that's probably something that's been inserted.
I think Judy is an interesting choice.
Yeah,
because
100%.
He's like a good-looking bloke. And he's not. He
got young.
He looks the part.
He does. He's
so
already.
I'm intrigued to see where they go with him.
To be fair,
another Jodie on him.
No, I don't. And I don't. I think RTD's a much better writer than Chibnall in the sense that he would write it well. And the thing is, it's like you were saying about I hope he's got the look about him. He's got the presence, and also just in that one sort of promo picture of him, just sort of like staring. Already, he's got the look of that sort of 1,000 light year stare that Jodie just never had. Like he's just looking
very true.
He's just looking like what the hell's going on.
I don't hate his costume, but I love the fact that it's completely
tasteless. Yeah,
it's like it's the Doctor. It's definitely. I see that costume.
I do like all of it, apart from the orange jumper. I think that was a little bit lazy. It's like, but it couldn't be any worse. Again, like we just already had.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
To be fair, I mean most of Peter Capaldi's costumes were lazy because he said, "I just want to wear a hoodie."
I'm just gonna wear
no, he started off like really suave and sophisticated, and then he ended suave and sophisticated, and then in between there was like, I was just going to stuck a hoodie jacket on.
It's like for most of the time he looked like a slightly off version of John Pertwee, but it's kind of
like the red lining and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like you look like John Pertwee, but you're just a few generations down the line.
Well, I think the reason for that, he even came out in interviews, was like, I just wanted to make something that kids could dress up in easily without spending too much money.
Yeah, but I think this could be a good way to
I'm a bit iffy on the
Tennant's
costume
arc, as they could get him to the point of wanting to move on instead of being a whiny little bitch.
Yeah. Hell yeah, David. Hell yeah. I agree, because the whole thing of him towards the end was, it just felt like a circus. It was just like, I'm going to die. Like no other Doctor before or since then has gone on and gone like, but someone else takes over and it feels like I'm dying.
David Tennant.
Thing is,
no, that's what I'm talking about.
Thing is,
David Tennant
since before.
I wasn't paying attention.
I will defend David Tennant for a little bit here, on the basis that they knew this was coming. So I'm sure this is more writing than him wanting to be a whiny bitch.
Well, yeah, it was RTD basically paying homage to himself.
RTD is saying,
this is the end of Doctor Who.
I'm leaving.
It's not.
I don't really want to leave, but I think it's best, so I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And this is me putting it out there, and this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, because there's no reason why, he couldn't have done like the regeneration, say Matt Smith or whoever RTD would have chosen, and had it just done it from there.
Yeah. I mean, there was that thing where David Tennant did actually see like the first, basically saw the 11th hour script And he was like,
Really
I was
close
this
to that.
close to
he
being
was-
like,
he was very
well,
close
I'll do
to
one
that.
more. But then he was like, no, I'll leave while I'm, you know.
I mean, I do imagine
David
what
Tennant in
season
11th
would we have
hour
had would have been beautiful.
There was
That would have been the best bit of television we've seen in a very long time.
and Stephen Moffat actually worked out. He was like, well, it will start with him like about to regenerate, but then he like basically carries on, and then the season ends with him crash landing in Amy Pond's garden shed, and then he starts regenerating, and it becomes whoever the next Doctor will be. So it kind of comes full circle kind of thing. I thought that would have made.
You only have to see where the state of Doctor Who ended up. Whereas when I walked into Forbidden Planet on the 50th anniversary, and there was a massive whole aisle full of Doctor Who stuff, Doctor Who toys, more merchandise,
it was
all
still
over.
right. It was still in the membrane.
And then it was like 3 years later, you get to Jodie's first season, and it's now like consigned to one
like clearance
part of
aisle.
it, with nothing you'd want to buy.
There wasn't even a section. It was just like, oh, there's just some random shit.
And this is like a shop for like the super nerds, you know?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Hang on a minute.
Well, the amount of times we went there in the past, there was like a whole floor almost dedicated to it.
Nicolti is a great choice in my opinion. Really eccentric and has great charisma. Has that charisma. Sorry, can't read. Whilst RTD can be hit and miss with getting the lore right, he is great at getting the show back to the mainstream.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's done. And with the whole sort of the Disney deal as well, he's got proper money behind it now as well.
I'm not too worried about the whole Disney side of things.
And they finally actually they commissioned 2 more classic Doctor Who. God damn it, yes!
Yeah.
2 more classic Doctor Who stories to be made as animation. Okay, I don't care that it's the Underwater Menace, but I quite like.
At least now it can be from a completionist point of view.
Finally going to do the smuggle. Okay, so another
And the
William Marlowe,
smugglers,
finally, cool, whatever. But
If I'm being honest,
give me more classic stories.
Yeah, exactly.
That I'm
That's
missing.
what
I
I
don't care about New Who.
Yeah,
if I'm
it's
being
one of those
really
things.
honest, I think the BBC, or whoever's in charge of the Doctor Who side of the BBC, has been really lazy about sorting out this whole
they've been
classic.
terrible.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I think RTD's gone, right, I've got my own production company.
Yeah.
I will do creatively what I want to do.
Yeah.
And you guys will just license it out to where I need it to
Get on
license out.
Just-
So there's no
I've seen your video covered. You've basically got every episode of Doctor Who recorded on video.
I have everything on video. I have it all on DVD, and I've got all.
And it's got audios
Yeah.
as well.
I've got all the Blu-rays.
So
Yeah.
the point is,
Basically, I'm that bastard they aim this stuff at because
Yeah,
I'm
well,
going to buy
take
everything.
my money.
I'm going to buy all
Yeah.
these things to give you a reason to keep making it.
and the point
And
is,
making it good.
the point is, if you've got it all, there must be multiple people like you that exist in this world. You're not the only Harry, you know. If I put it that point.
100%.
Which means getting hold of a copy of
I've also got the comments
the
here.
Dalek Master Plan. It should be easy enough to get hold of, so that they could make an animated version of it if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
They're just being lazy about it. It's like, oh look, mate, you recorded this on your video cassette like it's 20 odd years ago. If I give you I don't know, like sign you some rights or put your name in the credits or something, will you give me a copy of your cassette so I can record it?
It's weird because it's interesting that you've brought this up. We were talking about this earlier. The rights for the 60s Doctor Who is very, very
sporadic.
Yeah, not like I said, they couldn't replay a lot of it because of licensing. So there's so many weird things that they did.
This is a good couple of hours. So Evolution of Geek says, I was speaking about merchandise and toys, etc. when I did my Doctor Who shoot in November. Back in the day, Doctor Who toys were everywhere. Now shops just don't have any or very little. Merchandise under Chibnall has been crap. Not that I would have bought any. No.
That's probably why
Also,
it's been crap.
who signs the exclusive rights for making Doctor Who toys, but fine, to B&M? Honestly.
Oh, God. Well, the thing is, I wonder we haven't been to the Who shop in East Ham for fucking 2-3 years. No, it was starting to bleed in then. They still had a lot of the classic stuff there, which made it worth going. Yeah. But now I'm just I dread to think hopefully they've kept to their roots, but it's David Hammond, yeah, Harry, I'm with you. Classic is so good. The collection Blu-ray sets are the best thing. I think season 6 could be this year.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
I love season 2. I love season 2 when it came. I was disappointed I didn't get a Crusades part, 1, 3, but
well, yeah,
it's fine.
It's what they've got to work with. The thing is that
you can start making your own Doctor Who
episodes.
The copyright runs out in 20 years.
The nice thing the thing that I look forward to most about those Blu-ray releases is all the behind-the-scenes stuff. I mean, I love the episodes, but it's more about like just some random, like they just put some like random documentaries that they recorded in like the 60s and 70s at the time, and like, oh yeah, watch this how it was then, you know, like the Blue Peter stuff and things like that.
It's like,
exactly.
I got Spearhead in Space on DVD ages ago. I had to get rid of it for money reasons. But the best bit of that entire story for me was listening to the creator commentary.
Yeah.
Just them talking about how this is like, well, by most standards, this is just a generic story because it's kind of like it's aliens taking over the world, taking over the earth. But this is how he did these things, and this is quite different from how other stories like this. And it's those things are really good.
It's really interesting because it marks a difference. They had to, they didn't have any studio time, so they had to do it all on location.
Yeah.
That's why Spirit of Space feels so different.
Yeah, it does feel like a movie.
Everything before it and afterwards, because everything afterwards is back in the studio again.
Yeah, it feels like James Bond.
We're doing colour overlay separation.
Yeah.
Whereas there's no colour overlay separation in that story.
Question for you guys to argue over, lol. What is the absolute best Doctor Who episode, classic or New Who?
Robots of Death.
Pyramids of Mars.
Not personal preference either.
No, Robots of Death.
So Robots of Death is fucking great, and we do have that in the Doctor Who playlist somewhere down there. I'll put a link in there afterwards. But for me personally, it's Pyramids of Mars. I just think Sutekh is the greatest villain in Doctor Who history.
I mean, agreed. Both 4-part stories, so I can live with this.
New Who, I would
best New Who story.
Well, we've just done that with him and Tom, and we did that a couple of years ago with me. For me,
I can't remember what I chose.
You chose Day of the Doctor.
Oh no, yeah.
Day of the Doctor is definitely the best.
Fanboy. I would have chosen the 5 Doctors otherwise.
For me, it's a very close call between Heaven Sent and Dalek. Because Dalek is a proper
that's a proper
into what the Daleks are.
It's a proper Dalek story.
Yeah,
it's the
only one of them.
It's the only Dalek story we've had that's an actual Dalek story.
Yeah, because ever since then it's been either like they're human Daleks or they've been like
Horror Fan Rock is a great choice. Actually,
that is
I like
very
that.
good. Yeah.
There's a moment. There's a moment in that story is when Tom Baker turns to the screen, turns to Lena, and he's like, I've locked it. I don't think I've locked it out. I've locked it in with us.
Yeah, I've locked it
and he suddenly goes,
well, now I've put you in terrible
danger. Like, oh crap!
But he does that quite a lot, doesn't he? I'm afraid we're all in terrible danger. Great.
It might have been my fault. No, Rome. I'm going to get. I've probably said this so many times to you guys. You're going to get really bored. But Rome's
not at all. I love
episode, favorite story because it starts as a whoddunit.
Yeah.
It ends as it's the end of the world.
We have pizza coming. Pizza. Sorry,
it's the end of the world. He gets to that point in the storyline. He goes, a robot killing human beings is not only the end of this civilization.
Yeah.
Any civilization that has
robots in it. Yeah.
And it's going,
it's going to flow into that.
This is
civilization.
Every piece of casting in the Robots of Death.
Oh, that's perfect.
Every character.
Yeah. Yeah, Toos, amazing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's timeless. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, they'll never, ever get bored watching it.
It's also got the best explanation for why the TARDIS is bigger on the inside.
Well, yeah.
Not the
that's time outside. That's just silly.
I don't know what you guys are eating.
Yeah. Actually, put in the comments below. What are you having for dinner tonight, or have you had dinner yet, or not? We ordered this before we decided to do this live stream. So yeah, just bear with us on that one.
My favourite classic is either 10th Planet or Ambassadors of Death. I watched
that's an interesting choice.
I really like. Liz Shaw is the most underrated assistant.
Yeah,
easily.
She's probably.
What I love about Liz Shaw is that she is the best that humanity has to offer.
Yeah.
In terms of what she brings to the table. Effectively, she actually has her job stolen by the Doctor.
Yeah.
Because she's basically doing what he's doing.
Advisor,
and then he ends up by being her. And she's just like, well, why am I doing this job? And then ends up like any intelligent person in that situation. She turns around and goes, why the hell am I doing this?
Fuck this?
I'm going to go back to Cambridge and go and do some fucking research. You get on with unit. I don't want to be here anyway. I love it.
Yeah.
We miss you, Caroline.
My favourite classic is either The 10th Planet or Ambassadors of Death.
Both are
New Who
really
would probably be
interesting
Day of the
choices.
Doctor. First of all, I think we can all agree Day of the Doctor is probably the best New Who episode.
It's hard to...
Yeah, brother, we are in agreement for a change.
I do love it. That's why I said
Dude, bro, I love you with all my heart, and you know I would agree with you on basically everything.
Yeah, have some chicken.
have some chicken and shut up. Yeah, we'll have some chicken. Sweet. I love Day of the Doctor, but I actually now...
Bastard.
Yeah. Heaven Sent mainly purely for the best performance of the Doctor in the new series.
That's because Peter Capaldi's an absolute legend.
But in terms of an actual, just like an isolated, like typical Doctor Who episode for me, yeah, Dalek.
What classic Blu-ray set are you most excited for, boys? Yeah, Liz Shaw is really underrated. Really good actress
13.
as well.
Season 13.
Yeah, it's just the best as far as I'm concerned.
Andrew Tom Baker.
But
Oh, it also has your favourite episode in it. Yeah, I just realised.
well, there's that as well. Yeah, I'm not biased at all.
No, I have been, have you?
Never.
Right.
Right. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday! Woo! And
What about you guys?
And thank you guys for choosing to spend it with us.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. We literally would have thought that no one's going to watch this because it's like literally last minute. We haven't done this for a long bloody time.
And no announcement beforehand, so
yeah, exactly.
So let's throw the question back to you guys. Your favourite classic episode and New Who episode, because we've got Evolution of the Geek. How about you, David? What's yours?
He's already said that. He said it was Horror of Fang Rock.
Oh, fair enough. My bad. Sorry, Dave.
classic horror though. I like that story because again, this
It's a time period as well.
Doctor Who does really well historical stories with the slightly odd to go with it.
Time
Talons
Warrior.
of Wang Chan, Time Warrior, Time Meddler.
Time
Meddler is my favourite
really.
William Hartnell story, and it has that. It's the one that become the trope.
Yeah.
Planet of Evil on Blu-ray would look really good. They set that set on film.
It would.
New Who, Gridlock or Blink? Gridlock's good, and Blink's also quite good. Blink's better than Gridlock.
I've tried to appreciate Gridlock more as I've got older. Like when I first watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is boring." Blah, blah, blah.
No,
but actually, like the whole sort of the atmosphere.
Gridlock's
of
very
it-
good in concept.
Yeah.
It's a concept idea. Someone's had a really good idea, and it's kind of maybe it's not quite executed as well as it should have been, but it's still a very good idea. Everyone's stuck in a massive traffic jam that's lasting forever.
But it's an
No one
interesting
quite knows why.
juxtaposition because it's set on New Earth, but it's not the fancy New Earth that you see at the beginning of Series 2. It's like this is like the real
This is
like,
the underground
the
part of
society
that.
kind of thing. And I love the fact that you've got the speech at the end with David Tennant where he's describing Gallifrey and stuff like that. I thought that was beautiful. And the Murray Gold soundtrack
David
as well.
Tennant, out of English script.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the cat stuff is bollocks, but I mean, other than that, and you've got like the face of bone and all that sort of stuff, and it's kind of like a linking episode to the
You
theme
mean
of the
Captain
series.
Jack Harkness, don't you?
Oh, well, really? no. But it's building up to that kind of "you're not alone" and all
here's
that
a
sort of
good
thing.
What's your favourite version of the Cybermen? Mine is the original Mendasian Cybermen. The concept of them is just freaky, and the way that they talk is kind of creepy as well.
Yeah.
Right, so I think Mendasian Cybermen is going to be mine as well, and I will rate the New Who Cybermen until they do the Nightmare in Silver.
When they go all like RoboCop.
Yeah,
They
because
go
it's kind of
super
like
fast for no reason.
No, I can't stand
yeah,
you.
because it's like in terms of like Cybermen and how they operate, it's like okay. First of all, Mendasian Cybermen they're the top notch. They're the best. End of.
No, for me, it's the two moon base Weird in Space Cybermen.
Yes. And no. It'd be two.
Two Weird in
Moon
Space, and then we.
No, Weird in Space aren't the same type of Cybermen.
Oh no, because they've got the
Fucking teardrops.
The teardrops, yeah. Two of the moon base Cybermen.
Yeah,
for me.
those. No,
They are the quintessential Cybermen as far as I'm
I
concerned.
agree with you.
Yeah, David says Moonbase Cybermen.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the 80s because they do represent quite a large quantity of the Cybermen.
Well, yeah.
But they are a bit too Darth Vader.
They are,
show
and
too
they get a
much-
bit
show
more
too
emotion.
much
And I mean,
emotion.
for a long time, I loved Revenge of the Cybermen. I'm watching it back recently. I'm watching Tomb of Moonbase a bit more. It's just like they're just like
Creepy.
horrific in the sense of the literal sense of the word horror. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm
Cheers.
finding out like a fat bastard.
Don't worry, we got to soak up the alcohol somehow.
It's 3 pizzas, and it's like I have no idea what's actually been ordered.
I also quite like the fact
We want to chill.
that
Let's have some pizza.
the moon-based Cybermen are really sassy.
Yeah, they are. They're like, well, hang on a minute. How dare?
How would you
How
not
would
think
you not-
about a hole?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, we'll just use some.
idiots.
Yeah, we'll just use some sugar. Be fine.
Oh yeah, they poison them with sugar. Yeah,
Yeah.
they poison the sugar. So everyone doesn't get it.
Yeah.
That's kind of
But yeah, for me, that design is brilliant, and I like the fact that they refer to them in the moon, or refer to the moon base in Tomb of the Cybermen about like.
I definitely agree with you. State of Decay is that hidden gem in a very poor season. But I got to that point, I was like watching season 18, and I do like Megaloss, but it's.
I've got more appreciation again watching it older because it's like it's got that weird sort of body horror kind of like vegetation and stuff like that. And
see, my fucking eyesight's getting terrible. What one-time villain monster would you like to return?
Well, I would have said
Just leave
Sutek, but
one-time villains as one-time villains.
I've said for a long time I'd love for them to do Sutek, but now I don't know whether they'd handle him correctly. And no, I just think just leave Sutek alone. I think it adds more to Pyramids of Mars if he's just in
If
that
Sutek is
story.
only in that episode, it makes more sense. And it works out
And this
better.
is why Genesis of the Daleks will never be my favourite episode. In isolation, with none of the other Davros appearances, I would agree Genesis of the Daleks is one of the best Doctor Who stories. Unfortunately, what it does is it cheapens the Daleks after that point because they rely on the Davros far too much as the vocal point of
and now it's
everything
like
to do with Daleks.
yeah, it's literally like from then on it is just like Davros.
And you kind of get to that point of like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't want to see
I mean, I think they kind of
sorted it out by remembrance.
Yeah.
Because you got 2 different factions, and one's controlled by Davros. I find that set up in Revelation, and it's great. But even to that point, I was just like,
And then you get to Stolen Earth, and it's like, oh, I've created a new race of Daleks for me.
and
But
now,
you're the Daleks pet.
this is you guys may you'll totally agree. Or I may go, what's this crazy person talking about? But it is set after Revelation because he has his hand blown off.
Yeah.
He now has a robotic hand. At some point, he's then creating Daleks from himself, of which he's been able to create Daleks from human beings.
Yeah.
So how can he create Daleks he can't control when he clearly can create Daleks from human beings
Yeah.
that he can control? Doesn't make any sense.
Especially when the red Dalek goes, oh, they are the playthings of Davros now. Send him to the dregs. It's like,
oh, you're just a pet. You're the
yeah,
Dalek's pet.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
for God's sake.
So again, it's like, I think Daniel made a very good point on Twitter earlier. He was just like, I really hope they've retired the Daleks because they've done everything they can do with them, and it's like it's hard to argue against that because they really kind of have done. They haven't really felt sinister in the new series since, I would argue, Dalek, because there was only fucking one of them. And he literally wiped most of that place out. And that is a quintessential Dalek right there.
Yeah, agreed on Genesis, Harry. I think the Daleks have been so overused now. I'm
Really bored.
really bored.
Yeah, exactly. The only trouble with that is that I'm sure as long as Doctor Who is an IP and a franchise with a Termination State, I don't know if that's changed recently, but I think they still have to use them in every series if they want to use them. Otherwise, it gets.
Thing is, I'm not opposed to the Daleks being in every series, but you can do cameos.
Well, yeah, they've done that.
This other rumour that we've got.
That's why
it's a spin-off series.
Well, yeah,
and we get a spin-off series with the villains, and you get to use the Daleks, the Cybermen, the sometimes in other seasons doing their own villainous things around the universe. Not always fucking losing.
Yeah, well, yeah, and seeing how they.
The only problem with bringing them back in Doctor is you can't have them lose. You can't have them beat the Doctor.
No,
but you can have them doing their own things of winning. You know, being this threat
and seeing how fucking callous they are.
Happen.
Yeah,
and I'm totally behind that. I don't mind a spin-off about the Daleks or a spin-off about the Sun. Any of that sounds. From what I heard, that's the only thing of the the new series stuff that I've been kind of like,
This is what we're going to actually do, like a
that
Marvel sort of
idea,
thing. Yeah.
just to see how it goes.
Mm.
That's why I love Death to the Daleks. It's Daleks in isolation, going to a planet, basically.
And not really fucking knowing what to expect.
Well, no, they're just basically screwing people
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
we want to make up this
widely
story about how
packaged.
we've got this plague, but actually we're just going to ransom the universe.
Yeah.
The rest of you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
right,
fucking
here we
hard.
go. It's the Daleks just being bastards for a change.
Without Davros.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Hey.
Anyway, thank you for putting up with our eating. Well, I hope you're all enjoying. What have you guys had for dinner tonight?
Yeah, what are you guys eating right now?
That's a terrible question. What are you doing?
What are you talking about?
I've got
What do you want now?
I've got sprayed with garlic sauce.
All right, go on.
That's garlic sauce, is it?
All right.
Garlic and herb dip.
That's better.
Um,
But yeah. Anyway, so what are your sort of thoughts / trepidations / hopes for Shooty Gatwas season? Because now we have Millie Gibson, who very much looks like, let's face it, Rose.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really hope they don't go down that same route that they did fucking 15 years ago, however long it was, but it's like, oh, I love you. Yeah, quite right too.
Mate, there's nothing wrong with junk food. That's part of a balanced diet.
Yeah, once.
I'm now
once
getting off
every
my
3
soapbox
days.
to say that you're absolutely fine to eat whatever you want, and it's all good because we love you.
What do you think is, David Hammond, what do you think is the scariest classic Who story? And he says, I'm eating Percy Pigs. Percy Pigs are amazing. I ended up finding myself buying them for my daughter, and then she has about 2 of them, and I ended up eating the rest of the packet because I'm a terrible father.
In terms of, do you know what, the scariest story for me, and it still disturbs me, and Sean's going to vouch for it,
Yeah,
Seeds of Doom.
yeah. That's unnerving.
I can't watch it all the way through. I've watched the whole thing. I have watched it all the way through. I managed to do it. But as a kid, it used to disturb me so much. There's a scene in it when Keela's infected with the crinoid, and he begs Sarah to let him go, and she's like, I can't. I know you'll just kill me. This is why you have to stay where you are. And it's always hit me, and I don't like things growing in.
It's that kind of infestation.
I had the same problem with Ark in Space.
I was just going to say that's mine.
I've got over Ark in Space.
That's mine because I fucking
Seeds
hate
of Doom,
wasps.
for
Those
some
super vouch,
reason,
and it's
Seeds
like
of Doom.
alien wasps, and then you get that point where it's like you see, okay, now you can look at on it with a bit of cynicism and go, oh, it's just bubble wrap. But when you're looking at it from just like if you take that out of your mind.
Oh my God, did you watch the special features on that?
No, I haven't.
The cut scenes, like the main actor who talked about who plays Noah.
Yeah.
Talks about the cut scenes that he plays. So they were like, no, you can't. They literally went to the censors, and they're literally like, no, you've got to cut these things because it's all about him losing his mind.
Yeah, exactly. It just
over.
goes mental.
And it's a weird bit where the door shuts at the end of one of the episodes, and that's also a part of him talking about himself and it kind of taking over. And like, no, you can't get away with this, even in the 70s.
Yeah, it was just like this is too much.
I mean, I think if it had, I'd probably wouldn't want to watch it as a kid. It scared me as a kid.
Yeah.
Great choice on Seeds of Doom. John Chalice nails it.
Honestly. Yeah. But also, we watched this relatively recently, and I know it's not like widely considered the best, but in terms of scary and just like making you feel uncomfortable, like Revelation of the Daleks, because of that weird kind of that is actually them taking humans and putting them into
human dead bodies and
and it's just horrible. Yeah. And it's just like, it's just stuff like that when they're sort of growing things from the human body has always been one that's just like, they get that really well.
I'm just hoping that Doc and companions are just friends, little political episodes, and non-pushing
bashing over the head episodes.
I will just want Nicality to be good. We want Nicality to be good, and I think. Based on the interviews he's done so far, I'm hoping that he wants that too. It sounds like he does.
He seems really excited to play it.
Yeah.
And at first there was a little bit of worry when when he was on the red carpet at one of the award ceremonies, and he goes, "Oh, I'm really excited to play the role, but I'm filling in really, really big shoes." And then 3 minutes later, he's like, "Oh, it's all about the sort of political side of things," and it's like, "All right, we don't need that. We just want you to be excited to play it." Fair enough. But the recent videos from there's 1 or 2 minute interviews that he's done on the Disney/BBC website and stuff.
Yeah.
And they've asked him questions, and he's gone, "Oh, he's answered them pretty well. The Weeping Angels, who's the Doctor, what is the TARDIS, kind of things like that. That Jodie never even bothered to even attempt to try. So that, for me, fills me with a bit more confidence. It's just, obviously, there's always going to be trepidation about, particularly, and no offence to it, obviously he's done other stuff, but to me, it was just when they announced it, it was I'd never heard of him. And that's just not, that. Obviously that's me just not, obviously, going back and watching his old stuff, and things like that, which I will do now. Like the game with the motor racing thing, I can't remember what it's called, Apex Legends or something like that.
Apex Legends has a motor racing.
Well, something like Legends,
Need for Speed.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, he's in it. He's in that sort of trailer, and he very much feels like, oh yeah, no, I could see him playing the Doctor, because he's almost got that. He's almost embodying Peter Capaldi in that. He's just like, yeah, no, I'm for the races and stuff like that. So I can tell he's already got the chops, but we'll see. We have to give it a chance.
I fully agree with you that The Empty Child, the two-parter, was very
the new
chilling.
series, yeah.
If you're going for a scariest episode of a new series, Doctor,
Blink.
I'll go.
Blink, man.
Blink's actually
Blink scared the crap out of loads of
Blink
people.
versus Empty Child. Which one?
Blink.
I would counter both of you and go for the
squiggly monster.
yeah. The one that he doesn't know anything about, and then all of a sudden explodes.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh god,
terrible.
yeah.
I can't even do any quotes from it.
No, it's just bad. I would say even something like what's it called? Whatever the name of the first Silence episode was, Day of the Moon, was it? And it's just
you forget them when you see them.
Yeah, and then when you do see them, they just fucking obliterate you in a second flat.
It's the one where the camera cuts away and he's like, you're not looking at it. You're not looking at it.
Yeah.
And suddenly the angel's there.
Why are you looking?
It does make me go something. I'm not fucking up.
That's what Stephen Moffat
Just clean my pizza.
and a good habit of making everyday stuff scary.
That's
But the Bastion of Rider, that was the kind of hey, who turned out the lights?
Scary.
Hey, who turned out the lights? And you're like, and then the way the Doctor turns around and goes, why did? Yeah, there we go.
You make the impossible stuff scary. That's what you say. You make the impossible.
And then
stuff
and the way the Doctor turns around towards the end of that story, it's just like, but you didn't have to kill her, and it's like, whoa.
What?
Harry's taking umbrage from Jack.
My pizza. That's the spicy one. I ain't eating any of that because that's going to make my
You have another one over there, don't you? There's 3 pizzas.
The only difference is because one has jalapenos on and the other ones don't. So
I used to like really spicy food, but not anymore.
This just sounds like, well, I'm Harry and I'm now a bitch.
Get this guy.
Right. If any of you have seen the Doom Annihilation review we've done, check out
The state that he gets in.
The state he gets in. Considering that me and him did several videos on Sharknado, and he takes umbrage with Doom, which was nowhere near as bad, but not quite as fun. But still, it's very funny.
In my defence, these two led me astray.
Well, yeah, what's new there?
What was your favourite classic story for sheer shock value? Invasion of Dinosaurs blew me away when I first saw it in the effects. Oh yeah, no, I do like that. I actually prefer that story in black and white.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It feels more like a Patrick Troughton story.
Especially the first episode where they're like, oh, it must be a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Sundays used to be
and then
working day.
And then everything is just deserted. I don't know, obviously I didn't watch it at the time, but watching it for the first time for me was Invasion of Time when the Centaurans ran into it. I know it's not the best episode, but the fact that it was like, you go back 4 episodes in, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, it's the fucking Centaurans.
Admittedly, that story's better with the updated special effects.
Oh yeah.
When they're fucking looking like tinsel and like big.
Yeah.
Did you hear the sound? And I don't even bother trying to
just like, let's not even worry about that.
Just weird. The Vardens, that's it.
The Vardens, yeah. And they're just, they're like little like sheets of paper.
But if we're talking about, mine is always, it's going to be the Time Warrior.
Time Warrior is good.
Time Warrior is amazing.
The medieval parts look great.
Bottom.
And you've got the best looking Centaurn.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
Bit of a strange way of putting it.
Yeah, well, you know what we're saying. You started turning like a...
I have a thing for little potato-headed men.
That fits far too well.
Also, you've got... Not only have you got a great, like, primary villain Centaurans, but you've got Iron Grant.
Amazing Blood Axe.
Yeah, they're just fucking
basically
brilliant.
duos that only like Robert Holmes can deliver.
Oh yeah,
Robert Holmes.
It's the duos that
exactly. So down. Hal the Archer, and then you've got Prince. Is it Edward? Sir Edward.
Sir Edward.
And I can never remember the narrow hip vixen.
Oh.
I can't remember her name.
Well, was that Jude? No, it wasn't Jude. Is it Jude Brown's character? Yeah, Jude. Yeah, Doc Cotton. Yeah, yeah.
And obviously, Hal the Archer's Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Yeah. R.I.P. So yeah. Are we just going to like carry on and just see where it takes us?
I do like a good spud on screen.
I do a good spud on screen, yeah. But yeah.
What writer would you like to come back for Shooty series?
Chris Chibnall.
Stephen
Get out. I know it's his house. I know it's his own house. Get out. Rob Shearman.
Stephen Moffat.
Rob Shearman still hasn't written anything since Dalek, for goodness sake.
Actually, do you know what? I'd like a Inside Number 9 Doctor.
Oh, well, I always said before RTD
British
came in,
Smith or
Steve Pemberton.
They would be collaborate.
Perfect.
Or just do a number 9 Doctor episode. Fuck it.
That happens to be,
I was sold on them guys doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, and to be honest, I really liked them doing
Neil Cross was very good.
So.
Well, yeah.
Although that's coming back. A coming back writer. So yeah, I'm talking about writers that have never done it.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Neil Gaiman, but
I love that. More along the lines of the Doctor's Wife, and not
Nightmare
Silver. It's almost like, did he get
that's where the
lightning in a bottle with the Doctor's Wife?
Well, the thing is, I think because it was
such a good story.
Okay, you say it was based on the TARDIS, but it was like did that
too.
Yeah, just those two, and they're like polar opposites. One's really good, and the other one's terrible.
Absolute shit. And then Angels and Demons were it was cool.
Most underrated classic story.
Underrated. I would say, I know I said it was my favourite for a long time, and a lot of people don't like it. Revenge of the Cybermen. I think I'm quite.
I know you've got a soft spot.
I have got a soft spot because it's one of the only ones I've seen.
Don't make any sense, but yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, I think
the storyline.
Yeah, but I think the Cybermen are really cool. Like with the
David, why are you apologising for your central heating going down? Unless I misread your comment. And I have to say,
no, he's commenting. Sorry, I'm commenting way too much.
No, not at all. Keep going, man.
Keep going.
There's no such thing as
commenting too much. Anything that helps us, we can go. Oh, more questions.
Yeah, we don't have to keep going, so we don't have to keep talking to each other all night.
Classic story.
The second I have to talk to these two, I'll actually realise how shallow and pathetic my life is.
I'll go and cry.
Do you know what this is? It's the smallest fire.
Damn you!
How the hell have I known you both for like 15, 20 years? And
I've known you since secondary school. You just didn't know me.
That makes you
for a whole time.
That makes you my stalker. Does that make you happy?
Yes. I'm sorry. Stop trying to answer questions.
I don't. This might not be underrated, but I quite like it, and I don't.
You've already had yours.
Well, you two kept bitching each other about stalking, so I'm just going to keep answering the question that was proposed to us. You cunts. Go on then.
No. What was it?
No. I was going to say the War Machines.
It's a nice little one.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Nice little 4-part.
Because it's almost like a sort of precursor to the Cybermen, but not quite. You know what I mean?
I think the Red Planet's really underrated.
Lazarus was not very
Underrated for how much
shit
it really actually was.
It should be way
But,
worse.
It should be the
I
worst.
think the failing of that particular episode was what they were trying to do with it. David's last comment about Lazarus.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of like, the thing is,
It's good, right? Yeah.
the idea of, okay, this is the DNA or like the evolutions that humans wouldn't have had because DNA said you shouldn't have it. Okay, I can see that being a pretty good way of making a monster. It doesn't make a weird leprous scorpion thing in my mind.
I don't know.
But at the same
Recessive
time,
genes that were held within the.
To be fair, the only reason why that episode exists is to make sense the whole Lazarus thing that the master does to the doctor.
thing is though, if you put like what's the guy's name? The actor who did it?
Mark
Mark
Gatiss.
Yeah. You put him there. You put him in like a strange zombie costume, like his skin's like falling off his body or something. Not too horrible. We're trying to still be PG-13 for TV.
Bollocks.
But the point is, it's like but you have him be like a physical person in a physical costume with like skin like the
rather than like you say, rather than the weird scorpion CGI.
Yeah.
And it's like you could have a really good story there because all the pieces are in place to do a really good story. It's just the CGI.
I actually like some of it, especially with the fact that he remembers like the Second World War and stuff.
Yeah.
There was nice. There are nice parts of that story. It's just
There's enough good stuff in it.
David says, I really like the arc. I find it underrated. Great twist.
And that is a really good story. I got another good 4-part story.
Yeah, nice.
And also,
it just flows along nicely.
You get finally get that sense of consequence. They interfere within a situation, and then you see the consequences of that time travel.
Yeah.
And Doctor Who very, very actually does that.
And Evolution Geek, yes, Murray Gold should return.
Murray Gold being not doing Doctor Who over the whole channel just made me. Every time I go back to Murray Gold's music, I'm like,
it's the first.
Again,
it was the first
music
big
elevates. Otherwise, a poor episode, and the whole of Jodie era was just like. It was just.
It's wallpaper music, and that works for various things.
Yeah, really boring lift music.
Think about it, right? Okay, right. Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
Name any soundtrack or anything, any kind of music, or just hum any of the music in that. Beyond the main thing,
it's just variation of that main theme, though, isn't it? Really?
Well, that's the point, isn't it? Because no one can hum it up beyond the main theme.
Yeah.
And it's like, because the thing is, all the music they play is just background monotonous music.
I suppose it's a bit like, it's been a long time traveling from here to there.
It's been a long road. But my time is finally here.
Fuck you,
I spread my wings, gonna fly at night. I can touch the sky.
No, I didn't mean to hold it down into a fucking musical.
Listen, it's not musical, you just know this is the best.
I just know that is a good song.
Well, we got a couple more comments. So Evolution the Geek goes,
Stop
why does
singing.
everyone say CGI and
please
Tooth and
stop
Claw
singing.
is bad? I think it's so why does everyone say CGI and Tooth and Claw is bad? I think it's decent for the time. The Krillitane's not so much good CGI. Yeah.
Thing is,
I mean, the werewolf was decent for 2006 and BBC budget. Let's be honest.
The thing is, the difference is how they filmed it and how they shot it. Because the werewolf stuff, they showed like a couple of scenes of him walking around corners and running at people.
Yeah.
But when he was killing people, it's all just close-up cameras, like zooming into people and then the blood appearing on them, which sounds basic, but it's like it gets the point.
Well, it's the unseen.
And it does it well enough.
Yeah.
You don't need to see an obviously CGI monster go "her" and obviously not hit someone.
Her. Oh my god! If it said "her," that'd be the best episode ever.
Yeah. Whereas the Krillitane stuff, whereas it's kind of like Anthony Stewart Head tries to raise that up, but he's not. But he's not good enough to do it because the story's so
He would have
bad.
been a great master, though, wouldn't he?
He'd be a brilliant master.
I'm now going to come out of left field. I've finally thought about my underrated story. I really do like it. Is Colony in Space.
Oh, what? John Pertwee.
I really like that.
It's
story.
not bad.
Mostly because Captain Dent is such a
It's
and it's like, oh yeah, wait a second, we've got the mining rights, and you can all fuck off.
Yeah.
I want Green Death as my underrated story.
That's not underrated. It's a good story.
Yeah. Also, it's your favourite.
It's your favourite.
It's my favourite. If you were to be like that, I'd be like that.
Delta and the Bannerman, I'd say you'd have to watch
The greatest show in the greatest show in the galaxy. That's quite underrated. I had quite a good time watching that. That was great.
So my brain just went straight to Hugh Jackman doing This is the greatest show.
Hang on. This is the greatest show. Take Sarah
In
back.
the TARDIS.
Yeah, that is, it definitely is one of the best scenes in Pyramids of Mars. And actually, is your get out of jail free card
exactly.
anything that
That's what we
happens
said
to
before. Alternate time. Anything can be solved with alternate time.
You didn't need to do time locks or frozen points.
Fixed points in time.
All you need to do is just have a little thing that, I don't know what, if we don't do what we're supposed to do right now, we're fucked.
This is it. This is 1980, Sarah, if you want to get off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is 1980.
This is what would
as
happen.
Suchek would leave it,
Yeah.
the man with limitless fucking powers
Yeah, exactly.
that could destroy the whole universe.
Yeah, and all the fucking time zones in fucking the multiverse.
It is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's brilliant. Anyway, I need to go for a leak.
What Sarah Jane Adventures villain would you like to see in Doctor
Oh, I must hold my hand up. I've
Mine
not
would
watched.
be either the Trickster or the Nightmare.
That's right, my phone.
Nightmare Man.
Untangling yourself, you're good. There we go.
I haven't.
No, was that Julian? I know Julian Bleach was in Sarah Jane.
He was
Was it the Trickster, wasn't he, or something?
He was
like
a trickster.
Yeah.
They did the Trickster's Brigade, they did Slovene again.
I quite like the Sontaran turning up in it, but again, that's a Doctor Who classic villain in a spin-off series coming back into Doctor Who. Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. Forgive me. Yeah, Delta and the Bannerman, I know the American actor in that episode, and he basically is playing himself.
Fair enough.
There you go. So he needs to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know enough Sarah Jane Adventure villains. That's the problem. Right, I kind of got through the first season and I was annoyed that Slovene turned up.
Oh god.
Yeah, the child Slovene turns up in the first season, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Well, that's the first episode. The missus is drinking cocktails, which is going to be a bad night for me.
Yeah.
Which means we may end up by having to shut off on.
Yeah, well, that's probably going to be like midnight, so it's going to be fine.
Yeah, no, he was in. Okay, my dad's a tap dancer, and he was in Martin Guerre. And I know him.
Fiddler on the Roof.
There's Morgan.
Oh, he plays Morbius.
No, his Morgan.
Oh, I thought you said Morbius then for a
I've
minute.
actually ever stuff. I've never inflicted a Delta and a Bannerman upon you. But the American guy in it, it's
going to be. I'm going to inflict it on myself when I get there. Yeah.
Well, the American dude in it is an actor called Morgan.
Right. Okay.
Basically,
Yeah. No, I definitely still haven't seen it.
himself.
Right. Fair enough.
That's me being horrible. But
All I've got is an image.
Julian Bleach is the Nightmare Man. I thought he was.
Oh, he's Nightmare Man, right?
Keep the Savine away from the Tootie series. Yes.
Oh,
although
God,
it's
right,
Russell T Davis' creation, so guaranteed he'll probably.
Well, the thing is, the fact that he dedicated 3 episodes of that fucking stupid thing to
2020.
Yeah. It was going to be all about climate change, apparently.
As a one-off villain, the Slovene were fine.
No.
As a one-off villain,
I'm with Sean on this one. No.
Suck my dick.
As a one-off villain, they had one-note fart jokes for an entire.
And they didn't do anything that the Zygons couldn't have done better.
No, exactly. No, and Zygons do better anyway.
No one's arguing that they were good. I'm just saying
they were okay for one episode. Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying they're not good enough for one episode.
The problem is,
let alone the 4
it's worse
episodes.
because they come back for like 6 or 7 episodes.
especially Boomtown, that episode's terrible. I
Oh,
remember.
Boomtown's
Here's
awful.
one
Everyone's
for you
sitting
guys.
around dinner.
Do you remember we got the synopsis for Boomtown? And it's like, an old villain's returning, and we were all like,
what
what's
kind
going
of
to be the
villain's gonna
master?
be?
I remember us all thinking that's going to be the master. That's going to be so good. And then we got Boomtown, and we were like, this is shit.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
the Sabine.
it's just-
They were only here like
Oh, she
6
survived.
episodes
That's
ago.
not.
She survived because of
That's
crystals.
not an old villain. That was a villain that was appeared 2
yeah,
episodes
it's
ago.
not willing in the same series. Yeah, well done, RTD, for fuck's sake.
But Gillian bleaching basically anything is going to be okay because
Yeah.
Julie Bleach is
Piss off.
awesome. Don't say that too much.
They weren't back in the Sarah Jane Adventures, considering Sarah Jane is a kids show and Doctor Who is a family show. No, exactly. No, I agree.
Harry, I think David Hammond says, I think 4 to Doomsday is really underrated. That came to mind. Monarch was a really good manipulator. True. Great intelligent writing. Adric can be a tool, though, as per usual.
Adric, do you know, I actually sat through the whole of season 19 a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, is it as bad as my childlike mind remembers?
Yeah.
And
With the exception of Earthshock.
I watched it again, and Castrovalva still makes no sense.
No.
And the rest of the stories is just Tegan and
Being a
Adric
whiny twat.
having a go at each other.
Yeah.
All the time.
And Nissa just sitting back going, I'm quite quiet.
I'm quite quiet and intelligent.
And I'm
Actually,
an alien.
I'm
In
used
fact, I should be the companion.
I should be the main companion.
Yeah.
Fuck the other two.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
shut off.
They're twats. She's actually useful.
So Tegan coming back in the new series.
No, I didn't give a shit. I quite like Ace coming back. That was quite
Yeah, that's
nice.
because I like Ace.
Yeah.
That character's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, by comparison.
Yeah, comparison. Yeah, when you compare it to like someone like Jamie, it's like nah. But like
Jamie does need to come back, and then he's even like talked about it. Fraser Hines has talked about he's got an idea for a story for coming back, and then that'd be one story and done.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know
Well,
what? I can live with that.
I think he
Jamie.
would actually match up quite well with Peter Capaldi. I think that'd be a great. That'd be a great match.
Would you like to bring Torchwood back? No.
No.
We'll just leave it there.
No, it's probably disagree.
I mean, Children of Earth.
You just-
Children of Earth is good,
Okay,
but
right. Let's hear him out. He
Right.
hasn't said much for the
Fine.
last
First of
5
all,
minutes.
yeah.
First of all, I'm not drunk Jack yet. It's fine.
I'm drunk, Harry.
Even though I said I wouldn't.
That's why I know where your hand is. I love it. Torchwood as a series, no. Torchwood as a series shouldn't come back. I think it had its time.
Oh, we just said that.
No, shut up, you did.
He's trying to elaborate.
Oh, okay.
I think the Torchwood team, as in the ones that are left, as in Jack Harkness, Eve, and whatever the other bloke's called.
Well, I'll tell you, it should have been, from what I remember seeing from like a Noel Clarke movie, it should have been Noel Clarke and Martha, part of that team.
Yeah.
And then like weird shit happened.
You bring Noel Clarke and Martha back as part of that. Maybe not Noel Clarke because he's a bit of a dick at the moment, apparently.
No, he's alright.
Is he okay?
Yeah, trust me. Like he's done a few streams with Noel at the TARDIS Zone.
Yeah.
And when you actually watch them and you listen to what he has to say, it's like
I mean, that's
fair play
just,
to you, mate.
David, that's just delusion. We can't help that. Some people just seem to think the
Don't
sun
say
shines
that.
on
He's one of the two people who are talking to us.
but it's engaging
I'm
conversation.
engaged in the conversation of what he said. He said, do you see Mandip's interview where she thinks her era was better than David Tennant's? And I'm like, I can't be responsible for all these delusions.
Yeah. So maybe she was on acid. At the
I mean,
time.
I start thinking of Amy's Choice, because that's a delusion I'm
Well,
not
yeah,
responsible
which is
for.
pretty much the Doctor's
Leave
version
her
of
alone.
acid. Yeah.
You, not
Yeah.
quite so impressive.
Yeah. I'd be blushing if I had a face.
My point
Or
is,
even blood, or a face.
my point is, Torchwood as a group
As an idea.
The idea of it was
should come
alright.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as a
I mean,
TV show,
as a
no.
Doctor Who X-Files series.
Which is what they were
Which is what
trying to
they were
go
aiming
for.
I mean,
Yeah.
they missed the mark quite badly. But
Oh, there were one or two okay things in the first season. I mean,
No,
fucking
some
Cyberwoman
interesting
shit.
ideas.
And, like the Son of the
I mean,
Beast and all that.
The
That's all right.
Cyberwoman stuff was interesting.
That's a
It
great.
was-
Yeah, I was probably only
The
hard-
concept of it was all right, but again, it was like it was a chipmunk
Yeah,
fuck
but
up.
then it became very Welsh, didn't it?
Well, considering like it was made in Wales,
Dude,
that would have made
don't
yeah.
say
Don't
that.
get upset. I lived there for 5 years.
Yeah, to be
I
fair,
know.
to be fair, evolution of the geek, who is Welsh. You have Harry here, who lived in Wales for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So he can
did that.
relate somewhat.
He's not actually Welsh, so you can throw shit at him.
No, go ahead. Children of Earth was a TV masterpiece.
To be fair,
Yeah, it was.
yes, that really was.
What with Capaldi being one of the ministers?
Yeah. That was the season of Children
And they
of Torchwood.
used
That was actually
children
best.
for drugs. Children for drugs.
The only, and I keep saying this over and over, the only gripe that I have with that. What do you tell you? I'm Welsh, yeah, there we go. The only gripe that I have with Children of Earth is the thing when she goes, "Oh, the doctor would turn his back in shame." No, wouldn't.
He'd help.
He would
He'd
help.
save the
There's
day.
literally, he would, as soon as he heard about it, he'd be like, "Fuck off, get off this planet."
It's like when you get the Jodie scene where she's like, "Oh, I don't know what to say." What
Oh,
to your assistant
fuck right
who thinks he's dying of cancer? Doctor who don't know what to
I'm a
say.
bit awkward right now, so I'm just going to turn
I'm
around.
pretty sure
and
the
see
doctor
what
can
else.
cure cancer if the doctor wanted to, so that's another.
Maybe she just really didn't like. She didn't
I'm sorry,
like
Bradley
Graham.
Cooper.
Yeah,
I don't think you'd have to cure your
Brad
cancer.
Really didn't like Graham. Yeah.
Walsh.
Bradley
Bradley
Walsh.
Walsh.
Bloody what? Rocket Raccoon. Imagine Rocket Raccoon.
I like Rocket Raccoon more.
Yeah. That would be fucking great.
Oh.
What is this descending into
You
already?
know what? All is forgiven if Jodie comes back for one series, but Rocket Raccoon
No.
is her companion for the entire thing.
No.
Oh,
no.
I have seen Beat the Meats turning up in the next.
Oh yeah, so that's going to be like a new toy.
No, it's in the comic books. Beat the
Oh,
Meats
yeah,
comic book character. How do we feel about
I don't really know. I don't really
I mean,
care,
yeah,
to be honest with you. It's like, well, is it going to be some sort of gimmick? If it's a gimmick, then I don't give a shit. But if it's going to be like, it's going to add in any way to the story, then, well, we'll see, I suppose. I suppose that's their way of going, yeah, right, merch, quick, get this one in there. It's going to sell lots of toys, plushies and all that. I'm wearing truly stuff. Thank you very much.
I'll try.
I really struggled post Series 5 of New Who, can't lie. Although Series 2's... Oh, David, I despise Series 2. I mean, pre-Jodie, for me, and I don't understand... Okay, people might say, oh, it's great, I love Rose. For me, Rose is a despicable human being in that series. Like, just a horrible piece of work. Like, especially in that fucking the Cybermen two-parter where she's like, oh, maybe Tristan's a bit thick, or whatever it is. And then the whole thing of Fear Her where she's like, oh, well, children are just really annoying. Well, no, I had children once. What? Like, oh, yeah, so he's just going to stop his life forever because you've just been trundling around. Yeah, sorry, I don't like Rose in case you didn't notice.
I mean, in New Earth, the Doctor was able to save sick people. So maybe Metica's Doctor could have saved Bradley Walsh.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
To be
with
fair,
antibiotics.
I can't remember his name either, so... I know he drove a bus.
Oh, what, Graham?
Graham, there you go. Graham.
Why do I remember that? Fuck. I only watched 3 episodes from the Series 11, but then I watched a bit more from the
'Cause
later series.
Bradley
We
Walsh.
tried. Me and you, we did try it later on, didn't we? Well, we all gave Flux a go in various degrees, didn't we?
I gave the
Some
last
reason.
2 episodes of Flux a go, and that was about as much as I could stomach. And I think that's because you'd already watched like all of them.
Well, I watched like the first. I
Movies
watched
and
like the
stuff.
first 3, and then I actually, for some reason, decided, oh, the Weeping Angels are in this. I don't want to watch that because I don't want to watch them fuck up the Weeping Angels any more than they already have been.
That was a bad episode.
Yeah, no. Not even going there with that one.
Still eating my pizza.
Telling you, I'm eating a whole of your pizza as well.
Sorry, still drinking my beer.
There you go, touche.
I surrender.
I know you do, Bobby.
David Howard, laugh. Sean, I agree. Rose can be really annoying. I know, right? Literally, first series with Christopher Eccleston. She's not too bad. I mean, she's still a bit irritating, but she's a girl next door. She's just finding her way in life, and then she meets this random stranger, and it's like, okay, I'll go and see what the world is like. Series 2, she's a fucking bunny boiler. Proper. She's like, anytime even with Sarah Jane, for fuck's sake, in School Reunion, she's just like, oh, who's she then? It's like, no, fuck you. Sorry. I just don't like her at all.
I made it through the Flux. I don't know, how did we make it through the Flux? I mean, I watched every episode.
I missed
There's only 6 parts. I mean, God said there wasn't 13 weeks of Doctor Who.
To me,
And then I never thought I'd actually hear myself say that.
yeah.
I mean, I never thought I'd be that. I've met many Doctor Who fans, and a lot of them, like when I used to work at John Lewis, one called Richard.
Oh yeah, who was still keeping contact
Stop
with.
watching
Oh,
Doctor
he
Who.
was just like, oh no, don't
Hey,
bother
stop
watching
talking
anything
to
off Tom Baker. And he's
It's
like,
like,
now I know why.
I understand.
Yeah.
I totally get it. There's a point where
exactly.
you can only take so much.
I'm going through the
Before you
rewatch
go
now, and
to
like, there's some episodes that I haven't seen for a while. Some episodes I hadn't seen originally, and I'm like, I really don't look forward to it after Tom Baker. I mean,
After Tom Baker, it gets bad.
I mean,
Does get
there's
really
some okay episodes like from there, but I'm like, oh, now I've got to
I
start
say
watching the new
bad.
series again.
It's all boring. They're really,
Yeah.
really boring.
Yeah.
Especially Time Flight. If you guys
Oh
have seen
god,
that
yeah.
review.
If you see that review that we did in the link that will probably be somewhere there, or it might not be, but it'll be in the playlist. Just scroll down and you find it.
Yeah,
We're lazy bastards.
boring.
Power of the Doctor to see Whittaker's downfall.
That I do
Yeah.
agree. That was really the sort of like, morbid curiosity that I had, and the whole thought. I heard rumours about like some of the classic Doctors being in it, and that was it. Really, I didn't really give a shit about anything else. And Sacha Dhawan, to be fair, he fucking did as much as he could to sell that show, and it was the Sacha Dhawan show. Yeah. And it's just like people complain, like, oh, why did they? Well, they did that in series 3 with John Sim with the voodoo child, my voodoo child, all that sort of shit.
I mean, in our review, it literally is just an advert for
baby.
Yeah.
So,
It is,
I was just replying to
Oh,
David,
Time Flight.
as
Yeah.
best as I can live as it comes up
Oh,
on
yeah,
TV.
yeah.
But yeah, Time Flight is a Concorde advert
It pretty much
for a
is.
plane that doesn't exist.
With really bland sets and really bland like
Grey
dialogue,
blobs.
and like the master goes,
Kali. I mean, I
I
like Anthony Ainley did like Spurning.
Oh, he hammed it up properly.
He loved it.
Yeah.
He loved it.
He was still decent though in his own way. You know what I mean?
I'm still gonna.
Well, that's why I have a soft spot for Mark of the Rani.
Yeah,
I actually quite like that.
yeah, it's not too bad.
I like
Yeah,
the fact that the Master and the Rani get stuck together.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
absolutely despise each other.
And there's a big dinosaur that's growing really big right
It's
next
just
to
like,
you.
what are you doing?
I will give Sacha Dhawan so much credit for the fact that he tried to save the Master character.
Yeah, and he would have been a better Doctor than she was, but that's not difficult, is it? But I mean, he would have been a good Doctor
Very true.
regardless.
To be
of
fair,
what
I think
good.
he would have been better suited to be the Master than the Doctor.
Uh,
All things considered, I think
I have
what I've
watched it.
seen
Yeah,
makes me think he's a better Master than Doctor.
I don't know. I think he plays it in the kind of
The
zany.
Prisoner, Jack.
No.
Have you watched The Prisoner?
I watched like the first 2 episodes.
I remember
but I
it.
haven't seen all.
Not
Yeah.
saying remember it at the time, but no, I remember watching reruns of it.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. It doesn't need to turn out. And spoilers. And David, you may be able to answer. The ending's disappointing because he turns out to be number 1, doesn't he? Dun, dun, dun.
You are
I
number
feel
six.
like I feel like the moose trap.
Most of my
Oh,
knowledge
it
of
was the
Prisoner is-
chauffeur that done it.
It
Most
was
of
the
my
thing
knowledge
with
of that
Paul
is
that
the
was
Iron
chasing
Maiden
around
song,
and trying to
The
escape the
Prisoner.
island, wasn't it?
It's like you are
Yeah.
number 6.
With the bouncing ball.
Okay, I've seen it, but I can't remember
I'm a
most of
free
it.
man.
And my life is mode.
You are number 6. Who is number 1? And I think,
number.
isn't it? He's number
He's
1.
like, you are number 6. Yeah,
But it turns out that he is number 1. I think.
Yeah,
that's
I think
and
so.
I think that's what Dave pointed out.
Yeah.
That it's a disappointing ending, and I think that is the
Yeah,
case. That's
Yeah,
how
literally from the beginning.
What
It's
are
just
you
like,
I'm not doing
yeah, it's a
it.
shame that it
You're
doesn't get
putting
the
on
end
random
right.
stuff on the
No,
telly.
I'm not putting random
I
stuff.
was
putting
putting
random
two
stuff on the
stuff.
I'm doing one random Doctor Who thing.
Yeah, but we'll get like
We won't get
I don't know. We don't monetize anyway, so
We don't monetize anyway. Exactly. So don't worry about
It doesn't matter.
yeah, we'll get copyright stricken.
it.
We don't want a copyright strike of the channel, but yeah, just put it on like low volume.
I just want to put the Rasputin thing on because I think it's quite funny.
Evolution Geek says, "Is there any other time travel shows you guys like?"
Sliders. Oh, that's not. I was going to say sliders, but it's not a time.
Quantum
travel show.
Leap back in like the original Quantum Leap.
Backstep was quite good.
Backstep. What the hell's that?
You want to see back? I'm sure it's called Backstep, but it's
Back to the Future.
I
Hey!
thought a TV show, you dickwit.
Well, yeah, I know, but yeah.
Basically, they
Bill and
find
Ted.
again.
The cartoon is a series.
That's true. Yes, I'll give you full credit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Bill and Ted back.
Fuck you.
Bill and Ted Back to the Future. Bill and Ted cartoon. Back to the Future was a cartoon as well.
When was that?
After the movies
Cool.
came out.
Yeah.
I agree. Yes, it was. Yeah, they did the train. There was a cartoon about them travelling.
Yeah.
No, I do remember that.
Backstep was a thing where it's like the idea was you could go back in time 7 days.
And change avert disasters.
Yes,
that is a really good. And there's
that
another
was
one.
good.
There's another one about being on a train carriage. And they're on the train carriage, and they wake up in the future. Please, it's a early 2000s TV program, probably on Channel 4. Fuck, I can't remember. My brain's like so fried these days. No, but they're on the train, and they go into a tunnel, and they don't come out of the tunnel, and then they have to get off the train, and then they're in the future, and it's like a dystopian future. It's not really time travel, but I suppose they do time travel.
If we talk, would you count? I suppose it's like, would you count life on Mars?
That would technically count as time travel, wouldn't it?
No.
But if you're gonna
technically, spoilers not. But
no,
if
you watch Ashes to Ashes, you realise what it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't care. Second of all,
if you're looking at it purely from a fresh perspective, you could.
If you're looking for an entertaining time travel episode or something, Stargate SG-1 when they do their time travel episode.
David liked Resident Evil.
Which one?
Resident Evil. When after seeing your review and really liked it. I can't believe how good
the graphics were. Yeah.
Well, I just can't believe how terrible the storyline was.
You probably believed that at the time when you were playing it.
Welcome to Resident.
Oh my God!
There's that other video where Tom's in when we were here and talking about what you guys were talking about.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, the TV series was god awful. That movie was all right at best.
Oh, what, the one you were painting? But the one that you spent most...
Yeah, the one that fucking got... No, not Millie Jovovich.
The other one. That was terrible.
It was terrible.
Leon was raped as a character. Leon was destroyed as a character. No. Leon's a cool guy. I like Leon.
The one where most of the time you were painting Warhammer
words. It was a bit bland. It's not as bland as your painting was.
Oh, sick. You didn't even finish the painting or the film.
No. Oh! Usually run out of videotape.
Yeah, sure.
The film, no, you finished the film, but you didn't finish the painting or talking about it. It was just like...
we did a review afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. So, if anyone's actually interested in the painting, not that you probably are, but why not?
Let's make it a Warhammer stream as well. That's what I said, and other stuff.
Get your fucking hands away from my feet, you little bitch.
I wasn't going for your foot.
So, these are the dwarves from the Hobbit films, as well as Gandalf and Bilbo.
Bit closer to the camera.
These are going to get painted on a live stream by Harry.
Name them all.
You want me to name them all? You think I can't?
Go on.
Bitch, please.
Go on, name all the dwarves.
Sorry. Dwalin. Oin, Gloin. Feely, Keely.
Point them out. Point them out.
Okay, fine. Right.
Show the camera.
Okay, fine.
Test of his nerdiness.
Right, okay. Gandalf. Not a dwarf.
That's easy.
Shut up. Let's do the wizard one.
Is there anyone I'd like to play as the Doctor? Too big.
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman.
Bilbo.
Michael Sheen
or
Michael Sheen.
Tom Ellis.
A fellow Welshie. That's what it
Tom
is.
Ellis. Do we fellow?
Dwalin. That's Dwalin playing by Graham McTavish. He'd probably be a good Doctor.
Graham McTavish, yeah, he'd be quite good.
That is Nori. I don't know the actor's name, but whatever.
Peter Capaldi again.
You want Peter Capaldi to come back?
Yeah. That's Thorin.
I don't think he got a fair crack at it.
Broken Shield. I'd like a throwback.
That is
Paul McGann.
Feely.
Yeah. 100%.
Keely.
No, I'll find Keely. Hang on.
Feely.
That's Keely.
Biffa Bomba.
Tilda Swinton would be a good Doctor. She'd be a very good Doctor.
Tilda Swinton would be good.
You're quite right.
Yeah.
I mean, she's way too big for the BBC.
Oh, yeah. There's no chance. Maybe with Disney's money, maybe Anthony could swing it.
If we're going Tilda Swinton, I'm going to go Trisha Helfer.
Oh, yeah. But the trouble is, it's like, they probably wouldn't like the fact that a lot of people would be ogling her.
Oh, what, the male
That's not what I
gaze?
mean.
Yeah, the
Sorry, that's
the
Ori.
misogynists.
The
The
one thing
misogynists
that
out
makes
there.
money in this world.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, used to.
That's Oin.
I'm glad he's doing this. It's a challenge. Never shirk a challenge, Jack.
Never shook a
Martin
challenge.
Shaw is probably a bit too old now, though, isn't
Barlin.
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
Biffa.
Bumba.
No, sorry.
Buffer.
Oh.
Buffer.
Oh.
Rowan Atkinson again.
He fucked
For a whole
up.
season.
He's fucked up. He fucked it up.
Did it.
Well done, Jack.
Sure, Harry would want The Rock to play the Doctor.
That's Buffer.
If you smell what the Doctor is cooking,
That is Biffa.
then let me tell you something, you darling jabronis.
I've seen Black Adam. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm
It's
so
not that bad. Could be
So
worse.
Jack goes, no.
And the final dwarf.
Hang on.
You can't remember
Which
the
one?
name.
No, I know the name. I'm trying to remember if it's the right one or not. That's the problem.
Oh no!
Shut up, there's 13 of them, you bastard. I've been drinking, I can't remember shit.
Mufasa.
Sorry. Mufasa.
Yeah, he's
James
Mufasa.
James
There you
Earl
go.
Jones would be
He's
great
Mufasa.
Doctor.
That's not the name of the dwarf.
Twirlin, Barlin, Biffa, Buffa, Bomba, Oin, Goin, Dory, Ori, Nori, shit, I can't
Billy
remember.
Killy.
Billy, Killy, Oin, Goin,
Do we done that one?
Bob, Brian, Harry, Sean.
Jackie's too big.
Rob from the Neraholics.
There's 13 of them and all their names sound the same. They don't do shit in the films for the most part.
Barlin. Did you say Barlin?
Yes, it said Barlin.
Yeah.
Hang on.
What about?
Can you name the dwarves then? Go on
I
then.
don't know.
Well then, there you go, shut your face.
Gimli.
You
The only one that
I
matters.
wasn't the one that was saying that I could.
Shut up, bitch. What did we make of the Hobbit films?
I like the first one.
Entertaining is what I'm going to say.
That's all.
I love how Jack is still focused on the naming the hobbits.
The first
The
one was
hobbits,
all right.
exactly. Naming the hobbits for
The Sackville
Hobbits.
magazines.
Okay, Frodo, Samwise, Pippin, and Merry.
And Bilbo. And technically Smeagol. It was a hobbit.
No, he's a river folk.
Yeah, but it's still a hobbit.
Deagle and Smeagol then, if you're going to be like that.
Oh yeah, Smeagol. Yeah.
Yeah, we're so cultured.
We try to be.
We're not counting the Rings of Power bollocks in that, by the way.
Yeah, no,
So,
I haven't bothered. I watched the first episode and got bored.
I didn't even do that. I saw the trailer and was like, fuck that.
I watched the first 2 episodes, and I will give credit to the fact that it does look very nice. They've clearly spent money on making it look nice, but beyond that, you guys seen Rings of Power? 2
No.
episodes. Well, I think we just said.
Oh,
No.
I saw part 1 and got bored.
Like I said, 2 episodes, and the thing is,
That's the only thing I needed to know from the reviews and the trailers, and it's just like
at the end of episode 2,
time constraints.
Mighty Morphin
You're the
Galadriel.
first female dwarf. No, you're not. You're really not on screen because there was one in the Hobbit. You idiot.
There's multiple female dwarves on screen in The Hobbit, so
Yeah.
yeah, she's a liar. But Galadriel woman, because she's not really Galadriel, but whatever. She's
Or Galadriel. That's a
Galadriel.
great neurotic, as numerously said.
Yeah. It's like jumps into the ocean and swims from like the basically the edge of the Grey Havens. All the way back
Oh,
to
yeah.
Middle-earth.
That was fucking lucky, wasn't it?
That's thousands of miles.
And then get
There
sucked
are
out.
people who can't swim like the channel, and that's fair enough because that's 30 miles.
Yes.
You
And
know,
it's bloody cold.
it's cold, it's hard, it's difficult. But apparently, she can swim thousands of miles, or at least close enough to get to fucking Numenor,
And then you get,
which again is the wrong direction from Middle Earth.
and then like she didn't actually meet the Queen of the Numenorians because that was again several hundred years apart, and she never did meet Halbrand because Halbrand didn't exist.
Halbrand Sauron.
Well, yeah, spoilers. Yeah, but then it's like, but that version of him never came to pass because it was Avatar: The Lord of Gifts, who would have been a much more interesting character.
Which again is how they fucked up and didn't do it right.
And also, they didn't choose to do 3 rings. It was like, oh, we have to do this in response to this ring. We're not just going to make another ring
Thing
because
is,
we've seen this ring.
They fucked up in the entire premise from the very first choice. It's like, Who's going to be our main character? Well, your show's called The Rings of Power. Maybe it should be about Celebrimbor, the guy who made the Rings of Power.
and he wasn't a fucking idiot. He was seduced by an Anatar.
He was tricked. Yeah, he was seduced.
Okay,
tricked,
Sauron,
whatever.
Who should have been in there?
You could have done something along the lines of Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War with that, maybe a little bit. Maybe not quite going quite as far as that if you want to keep it in the Tolkien.
But what was she not being like a sexy princess?
Well, maybe not quite that far.
Yeah. I mean, I could get by that somewhat.
To be fair,
I
do want my giant spiders to be sexy ladies. But
Yeah,
at the same
so
time,
you get caught in there like they're
ooh, you caught me in your web, you bad man. Ooh, yes, I'm
We're going to string you up now.
But at the same time, it's like, look, there's your main character. It's Rings of Power. It's about how the rings got forged.
Yeah.
Celebrimbor's your main character.
Well, the fact is,
So why is it about
much fucking,
Galadriel, who has
lore.
nothing to do with any of this?
No. Well, I mean, to an extent, but not to the extent that they put it in the show.
No. Galadriel has nothing to. She plays no
She's
part
also
in any
very
wars.
tall in the books. She's like 6'4".
No, don't bring this up again. Ace does not fuck the guy in Remembrance of the Dark.
No, he chooses not to see it that way, but
No,
blatantly
she did.
Blatantly did.
Ace is a woman. She has needs. These things happen.
Of course they did. Of course they did. It's just one of those unseen kind of.
Don't you ruin my wholesome family show.
Bollocks.
And what why would it matter to you, Harry?
Because I love her.
Yeah.
Harry,
Professor.
Harry and Ace.
Professor
Harry. Harry and Ace sit in a tree.
Tom has joined the chat. What on earth is going on here? Hello,
Hi, Tom.
As you can tell from the title, this was completely unplanned. Although you're more than welcome to join us, I can send you a link if you like, and you can join in.
You know what? Hell, at this point, send links to Evolution and they've been here for ages. Let's put them on.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean in terms of like if they want to, well, yeah, if anyone who wants to join, I can send a link out. Tom, laugh.
He says that, but you know he's
just
in
like,
rage.
how fucking dare you guys do this without me? Nah. To be fair, this was really just like a random thing.
I have this mental image of Tom sitting at home now. He's sitting on his chair. He's got he's got a full-on leather coat, and he's got
his Tony Soprano cigar.
Tony Soprano cigar. And he's got like
fucking get it.
He's got fucking Bury the Light playing. I am the storm that is approaching. It makes too much sense for it not to be happening. Tom, please tell me you're listening to Bury the Light while you're sitting in a leather coat smoking a cigar.
Tom, I won't be editing this. We will save you the bother because we can't edit live streams anyway.
I don't think it's actually recording. So God
no,
knows.
it's not. Yeah, it's not. We could have set it to recording, but it's not recording, so it's fine. It's good. We've saved you the trouble, Tom.
But Tom, please, seriously, you're in a leather coat with a cigar, and I am the storm.
What was it? There was some things you were saying about Dragon Ball earlier. I can't remember what about. Like when we were watching. Basically, this was just like a random thing because like Jack had like a rare free night off. So we're probably not going to get this for another 6 months, so we might as well come down in there.
Trapped on the island.
So quick. So, did Harry enjoy his pizza?
Fucking love
We
it.
all did. Yeah.
We all enjoyed Harry's pizza.
We did. Yeah.
Especially Jack.
Do you guys think there'll be another J.R.R. Tolkien? No.
No.
As in,
It's
what,
a big
another
problem.
person that will be as good as him at writing?
No. Never.
Well, it's a different type of writing, but it's still. I can't imagine anyone coming up with their own, literally entire mythology.
David, thank you for being here. You're awesome.
David, thanks very much.
Have a nice
really
shower.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy it.
We'll be thinking of you in the shower, or at least I will.
Well, he will, yeah.
We won't.
No.
I won't. I don't want to.
But we appreciate you being here and taking the time
I'm rubbing
on such
my
short
knees.
notice to join us. Thank
Yeah,
you very
so
much,
thank you.
David.
Have a nice one. Enjoy, and we'll see you when next year.
Cheers. Tom's just going.
He's proper season. That's why he hasn't even accepted the to add him into the video live.
Oh no, we have to send the link out first.
He's flipped the table over.
Yeah, he's already like destroyed his.
I have the table. Yeah, we can send the link out. How
do we do it?
We go to invite. Yeah, invite.
You can invite him.
Well, there you go. Do it.
Right, let's do invite. Invite guests, right? So we copy that link
to Messenger.
and then we have to send it in an email.
Email.
So
you can click Messenger there.
it says, guys, I can't at the moment. Okay, no worries, mate. Well, if you can or when you can, just let us know and we'll add you in.
Domino's price lights.
Battles!
Red Domino's.
Domino's.
The long cons. What is he doing?
You know, fuck it, I can't be asked.
Yeah, that's far too quiet, isn't it?
I'm waiting for the right moment to sound of it.
If you're still online later, I'll join in. I'm just busy burning with rage and disappointment.
Later, guys. Kiss, kiss.
Bye.
I am the storm that is approaching.
Right, have we covered everything?
I think, pretty much, yeah. I think
The
so.
Doctor Who? Yeah, we have.
But would this be something regularly? I think next time we'll do like one where we actually plan it.
This is my last roll of dice. Been carrying this around with me since maybe 10 years.
As in, be more adult in concept with his violence.
Maybe we should go back to. Well, yeah. I mean, I did think that up until recently. Now that Vince McMahon has fucking taken over the company again.
Is it what?
Yeah. No, he's basically. There's a long.
He's come out of retirement.
Well, yeah. He basically decided.
Like that.
Well, yeah. It's definitely resigned because he basically said, "Well, he's the majority shareholder and he wants to sell the company. And the only way that they can sell the company if he's the majority shareholder, he's back in charge." So he's kind of done like a hostile takeover. And he's now executive chairman of the board again. And they're worried that he's going to go back and take over creative. And a big sort of underlying reason for that is because he probably looked at the fact that they were doing quite well without him and thought, well, fuck you, I'm going to sell you and drive you into the ground. And there's nothing really you can do about it. And that's been the case in the last 2 weeks that's happened. Because he's a senile, bitter, narcissist old fuck. So that's why.
Just all those points, just like, I'll just fuck off.
Yeah, but that's the thing, it's just he can't
I stopped
seeing
watching
it.
it about 10 years ago. So
You can't see it being run by Triple H. Triple H was running it really well for the last 2-3 months.
I should also say one thing quickly. We've got 5 people watching. Tom, Evolution of the Geek, and 3 others.
There might be lurkers.
If you're lurking and you want to say something, please do, because
lurky.
this is what we do.
That's it. I mean, it is quite a busy night for streamers. You've got Noel doing.
There's rumours Saudi Arabia are buying WWE.
Yeah, which means that's probably
true.
A big reason why Stephanie McMahon resigned.
Because she's a lady in the Saudis.
Basically they don't like women in power, kind of thing. So it's like, well, fuck this. If you want to sell them, if you want to sell this company to them, I'm
Aren't
fucking
they
off.
buying something else really big at the moment as well?
It's a cultural thing, and
they bought. I don't know about really big, but obviously they own Newcastle as well.
Well, Newcastle, the place.
Well, pretty much, yeah. They own the football club, so they might as well own the place as well.
Yeah, they own St James's Park in Newcastle.
Yeah, not the one in London.
No,
nor shall they?
London's shit.
Well, yeah. We won't go into why.
It's full of homeless people and drunks and sex addicts. It's really bad.
Oh, well, it's interesting how you would know that, Jack. But
yeah,
just a hunch. Yeah.
All I'm going to say is apparently there's a specific dogging area for famous people.
That's
all I'm going to say on that.
Is it for Prince Harry by any chance?
Oh, Prince Harry!
Oh,
yes,
no,
Meghan.
We'll get cancelled.
Yeah, we get deleted.
We'll get hounded off the internet if we say
hashtag cancelled by Meghan and Harry.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Even Jeremy Clarkson didn't survive.
Wasn't there? Oh yeah, it was Michigan was a room. So yeah, I mean, there's been several. It started off with them being the biggest rumours to buy it, and then it was like, Nick Khan came out, the CEO was like, no, that's not true. And then there was rumours of Disney buying it, and then there were rumours of fucking Tony Khan from AEW trying to buy it and merge it with
With
AEW.
AEW, well, that would probably be
Which,
the best
which would be,
choice.
yeah, it would be. I mean, Tony Khan isn't exactly. I mean, he's basically living off his parents' money, to be fair. But
Fuck the Royals.
yeah, well, you know, it's a different world, isn't it? It's just, it's very strange lifestyle. So who knows with where WWE is concerned? I know if Daniel was in the chat right now, he'd be waxing lyrical about how much it's going to go to shit. And I'm like, to be fair, I don't really disagree.
It a long time ago.
Well, it did, yeah. I mean, but the last few months generally did seem there was a bit of improvement creatively.
Yeah.
Like Triple H gave like the full names back to the wrestlers who had like one of their names taken away. So, like Austin Theory, then Vince was like, "No, I'm just going to call him Theory. That'll sound great. It's such a good shit." And then when he left, he was like, "No, you can have your full name back for fuck's sake."
Sean.
Yeah, I agree with you.
When Cody Rhodes come back, I thought well, I mean, unfortunately, he did get that horrible injury in that Hell in a. Well, it was before the Hell in the Cell match he had with Seth Rollins, and it was that one where he basically tore his pectoral muscle. And it was a massive, horrible purple bruise.
It's Daniel Leach in the chat.
No, he's not. But that's fucking.
That's what I
was going to say. If Dave was in chat, he'd be like, "Yeah."
He'd be well up for all this.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah, man, he's great. He's a legend. But yeah, and the thing is, and then it was like they were building him up to be the one to beat Roman Reigns, but then he got injured. So then it was like, right, well, he's announced himself at the Royal Rumble, but then there are rumours that there's like 2 nights planned for WrestleMania again, and they want
2 nights.
well again like the last few years it's been 2 nights, like 2 or 3 last.
2 nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Wasn't one fucking enough?
Well, they've got so many fucking people on that roster that they have to split it into 2 nights, which is like fucking. And the rumor was that Cody Rhodes would beat Roman on one night for the title, and then The Rock would beat him on another night to be like, the real head of the table and all that sort of stuff.
What people need to understand is that.
But I can't see The Rock coming back.
You're married.
Yeah, to you. They haven't quite worked it out.
I think they've probably worked it out just from looking at your ass crack, Jack.
To write it out. Like I
haven't
said
seen
before,
WWE
the
since
whole world needs to
2018.
see my ass crack.
Is Roman still stupid over? Yes, he is still stupid overpowered. The only difference is now, instead of being a stupidly overpowered good guy, he's a stupidly overpowered bad guy. And in fairness, we've always sort of seen that he just has like sort of arrogance about him anyway. For the years that he was pushed as a good guy, it was like, no, he makes more of a natural bad guy. And finally, the last 2 years, he has been a bad guy. And now people, ironically, are now cheering for him because he's a good bad guy. So it's one of those ones, it's just like, they can't quite get the balance right. Yeah, but I mean, he's technically still a villain because he's beating up the good guys technically, and he's like sort of cheating in his matches and shit like that. But his personality is a lot better now. He's just like, doesn't give a shit. He's just taking the piss out of people, which is what The Rock did. And they're trying to sort of mirror that. But anyway.
Have any of us watched the new Last of Us?
No, I watched
episode 1.
Is it any good?
I don't care for shit.
Do you want spoilers or not?
I don't care.
Okay.
Sorry, we should probably
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
So
We're about to talk
spoiler
about
alert
Last
from
of Us.
Malcolm.
Just episode 1, because that's all I've seen.
Although, is it basically the game?
For the most part,
Then it's not going to be a spoiler, is it?
Yeah.
No, the first.
Apparently, they can massively deviate in episode 3, which is going to apparently piss a lot of people off, which doesn't surprise me. But anyway, carry on.
Pedro Pascal's going to die.
Well, no,
By killed by some like transgender weirdo.
Yeah, probably. Or it's going to be nothing about zombies. It's going to be about how humans are cunts.
Yeah. And the first episode almost does
bad guy and fans too. Yeah, pretty much. Although Stone Cold was
infinitely better.
It was more naturally suited to that kind of anti-hero role, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway,
the first episode, it's like for the most part, it basically everything
This is The Last of Us on HBO.
The Last of Us on HBO. Everything you saw for those first 15 minutes of the game, is basically that 15-minute episode.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
It's stretched out a little bit more, obviously.
But that was literally the intro to the game.
Yeah, they spend.
They spend a little bit more time with him and his real daughter at the start.
They spend more time with the daughter at the start because it's like 15 minutes is turned into half an hour.
Yeah,
and that's not inappropriate considering that the whole premise is supposed to be he's connected with his daughter and
And
loves
that's
his daughter.
why he connects
and
with
that's why
Ellie,
he connects with
because he
Ellie.
sees
So that makes sense, and you go with it. You're a little bit like, probably don't need to stretch it this long, but for a TV show, you go with it because it still makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not dragged out too much
Yeah.
for that first half hour.
Okay.
The problem is after it, and when they do their time jump to 20 years later,
Mm.
it's when the rest of the game starts.
Yeah, oh god.
It's kind of like it's very much a case of you just don't really care because it's kind of like
Then you got the super whamming soldiers with super whamming powers and all
no,
that
it's
sort
not,
of
it's
stuff.
not even that.
Yeah.
It's just, you just don't give a shit
enough.
about Pedro Pascal as Joel.
Oh really?
He's just not Joel.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, as soon as they announced him, it was like it doesn't really fit.
Okay,
Joel.
then we've actually got a poignant question here. What's your thoughts on remakes and sequels, etc.?
I'm bored of it, mate. I'm really bored of it.
There's
It's
a
like what
difference
happened to
between proper
original,
remakes.
because the thing is, I think that's probably something that why the 80s was so fucking good, because they had the creative
Everything was original.
freedom to be able to do landmark like IPs, and now everything now is trying to relive off that glory.
I'd happily watch a rip-off.
Oh yeah, but a funny fucking
Which is
rip-off.
what the 80s did.
Yeah.
The 80s ripped each other off all the time.
Oh yeah. I suppose you
It's
could
like,
technically
how
say.
about we make
I suppose you could technically say Star Wars was a rip-off of Western / samurai culture in the 1950s and 60s.
Oh, so
but it wasn't
to a
to a
certain
certain extent, yeah. But it wasn't like you could tell it was still its own thing. Whereas now it's just like, oh, we're just going to remake this.
It was
An homage,
yeah.
it comes
Whereas
down
that's like,
to
we're gonna remake
are you doing a
this
remake
Disney
or
animation.
a proper remake?
Yeah,
Or a
It's
proper sequel.
yeah, an actual sequel.
That's
Like
the
Top Gun
question.
Maverick is the only one in the last fucking how many years that actually
Was a
did it
decent
right.
sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And there was no fannying about with politics and shit. It was just a fun
But
movie.
it was basically had the perfect set of ingredients to make a sequel.
Yeah, it
So,
did.
for instance, you have Alien, one of the greatest fucking sci-fi horror
Horror
movies
movies
of
ever.
all time.
Yeah.
You then had to wait a very long time for that second film to come
Yeah.
about.
Because they were,
It wasn't made within a year.
No.
It was made like 6 years later,
Yeah.
7 years,
something like that, yeah.
something like that.
and they
I can't
took a
remember
risk
But
and they took
they
a
took a
risk
risk to
and
actually-
put
they took a
James
risk-
Cameron in charge.
But what they did is they changed the whole premise.
Mm.
They changed up all the things. They made it bigger, better, bolder, more fucking action. Lots
Yeah.
of fucking, and
They
they
were like,
really tuned
Let's
up
take this sci-fi
sci-fi.
horror and put it in the action
Let's have
realm.
more. Do you know what's more scary than having one? We'll have loads of them. Do you know what?
Shitloads,
We'll have
yeah.
loads of guys with guns who can't stop them.
Yeah,
Well, basically,
and these are supposed to
Vietnam
be
in
these are
space
like the
with
pinnacle
aliens.
of like the
Well, this is-
the armed
That's the
forces.
difference
in
between
space.
a remake and a proper remake.
Well, no, a proper sequel.
Or proper sequel, sorry, in this
That's
case.
right. This is
Yeah, that's a
definitely
proper sequel.
Hey,
Although-
Terminator.
everybody
Terminator.
has
You
mentioned-
turn it on its head in Terminator 2. You turn the Terminator into a good guy.
Well, that's why it
and then
always
you have
makes.
another Terminator that comes back.
Yeah.
And he's almost like
you
he's like the
basically
slasher
everything
villain.
that makes the
Yeah,
first one really good, and you change it up and do something really good with it.
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't just go like Jurassic Park.
I was
Oh,
going to say,
God. Lethal Weapon.
I love the Lethal
where
Weapon films,
You get to
but
the Lost
There's
World.
going to be a new
Oh,
one
we've got
coming
to
out
go to
soon.
another island where there's some other stuff going on with
No.
more dinosaurs.
As far as I'm
Then we're
concerned,
basically
there's
gonna
only one
make
Jurassic
King Kong.
Park,
yeah.
and it's Jurassic Park.
And the thing is, it's like using computer games as an example, because when it comes to like remakes, it's kind of like if you remake something,
I
you've got to do
agree
enough
with
different.
that. The Rob Zombie Halloween.
That's
film
not
is
bad.
really
Yeah,
good.
it's all right.
Yeah.
I didn't like his second one, but the first one was pretty decent.
If you
Yeah.
do enough different with a remake from the original, then it's okay.
There's just not enough. I mean, do you know what? This is going to be. I watched all 5 Planet of the Apes films,
Oh yeah, the
Last
classic
week.
ones. Yeah,
and then I watched all the new ones.
yeah.
or 2 of them.
No, there's just 4.
Oh yeah, you've got
4 of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you had the
2000
Mark World one.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
the Tim
Mark
Burton. Yeah.
one.
And then you've
Then
got
there's
Which
three others.
is
the-
Tim Burton. I keep forgetting
yeah.
it's Tim
And then
Burton.
you've got the Andy Serkis ones.
And then you've got
Three
the
Andy Serkis
three
ones.
Andy Serkis
I
ones.
keep
Yeah.
forgetting there's 3 Andy Serkis ones.
And it's like, don't remake an already good film.
It's
I
like-
mean,
First of all, the
by
first one,
all
the Andy
means,
Serkis one is
remake
genuinely
something
really
shit
good.
to
Yeah,
make
it
it
is,
better.
yeah.
But I mean, RoboCop. We've now got to a time where there's like so
Total
many
Recall.
movies. Okay, Total Recall, RoboCop, any fucking sequel to the Terminator after Terminator 2. I'm just not interested in any of these.
Well, the trouble
films.
with the Terminator ones is that they just keep trying to remake Terminator 2.
Yeah, you can't.
And it's like, it's already
Stop
been
doing
done,
it.
and it's
Stop, it's
never
already
going to be
perfect.
bettered.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, okay, a lot of people shield it, and it's not the best film, but at least Terminator Salvation tried something a little bit different.
It tried to show you the bit that we all wanted to see, which is the war
in the future. And that's
even
right,
then,
yeah.
it's like,
And then they were like, no, let's just go back to trying to remake Terminator 2 or whatever again.
There's only so many remakes you can do, like RoboCop. I have no interest in watching a RoboCop.
I wouldn't give a shit,
No.
yeah.
I want to see it redone. The first one's quality.
Yeah.
And the second one's all right.
And the third one's
The
weird.
third one's just dreadful. And then the TV series don't even talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Cash.
Oh, yeah. Bucky
O'Hare.
Bucky O'Hare's amazing.
Well, maybe Ghostbusters Afterlife, maybe.
Now we got a new series of fucking Jurassic Park movies, which is Jurassic World.
Yeah, which
are all dreadful.
Yeah.
The problem is, it's got to be, if you're doing a sequel, you've got to do it timely enough with a point to it.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife, I won't defend on the basis that it's like, you know what? It's like 30 odd years after the fact.
Well, I think
what story do you have right now that's so important and so good that actually makes sense for these characters right now? Newsflash, you don't, because all the original characters don't turn up till the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and
just be like, "Are you a god?" Yes.
Well, it's because Bill Murray was being an asshole for the last.
Maybe, but that doesn't stop you getting Dan Aykroyd and.
I did like Ghostbusters Afterlife, but that's another.
Well, yeah,
No,
but I think it was
what's the one movie you don't want a sequel to?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
That's already had 2 sequels.
What, as in like a remake?
Fine, Jurassic Park, because all their sequels have been shit.
I don't want another Jurassic Park movie. No, what's the one movie you don't want another sequel to?
Another sequel. Indiana Jones, but it's too late for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh.
I'm trying to think of like an individual film that I really like on its own that I don't want a sequel to.
I can only think of ones that have had sequels. That
I want to see a series of it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to see another Dread movie because it's already perfect.
It'll be
First of all, E.T. is a very good film. And no, there shouldn't be a sequel to E.T. Because
Pulp Fiction.
Films like that are
Pulp Fiction.
Exactly, good. That's what I'm glad.
It's
quite easy. Why did they kill Bill 1 and 2, didn't they?
No, but that was meant to be one film in the first film.
Well, yeah.
So that's slightly different. But at the same token, yeah, you're right. It shouldn't have a sequel. If they tried to do Kill Bill Volume 3, which would be a sequel.
Which apparently is what he wanted
The Passion of the Christ. That
well,
doesn't need a sequel.
Yeah, but it had one though, didn't it? Did it? I think so. Unless I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
3 days later, Jesus comes out of the cave.
With the rise of the Christ.
Oh my God, I can't die.
Sorry.
It's like the Rick and Morty skit.
I was thinking about what's that new movie where Santa Claus goes around shooting people?
Basically,
Fright or something like that.
I was thinking to myself, I've seen this somewhere before.
Silent Fright.
Scrooge.
Oh, Scrooge, yeah, that's
when the
right,
reindeer killed.
Violent Night, that's it.
The night the reindeer killed.
Oh.
And it's got a trailer for it. It's got the $1 Million Man in it. He's got a Gatling gun and everything. That's like, what the fuck? Are we now making movies that are within movies?
Yeah, they're really breaking the fourth wall now.
A movie I don't want a sequel to, Jingle All the Way.
I'm sure. Oh yeah. Well, I thought that about the Santa Claus, but apparently there's fucking 3 of them now, and a TV series.
There's 4 Santa Claus films.
Oh jeez.
No.
Just leave Christmas alone.
Jingle
All the way out of the way for another year.
If I learned anything from Solar Opposites, Jingle All the Way so hard, it destroys your Christmas spirit.
It destroys your Christmas. Oh, fucking Rick and Morty.
Oh, that's Solar Opposites.
It's basically Rick and Morty.
It's basically Rick and Morty, which is aliens instead of Rick and Morty.
I actually prefer the people in the wall.
The ants.
I'm kind of over the people in the wall now. I want the Silver Cops a bit more. I never just started doing.
What's the one movie you're looking forward to seeing?
Or just once.
Dread 2.
I
want Dread 2.
I'd rather it be a series though.
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3 is probably the only. Deadpool 3 is probably the only one.
Thing is, in all seriousness, Deadpool 3 got greenlit by Bob Chapek when he knew that Deadpool 1 and 2 made money.
But yeah.
And he knew that Ryan Reynolds making it would make money.
Yeah.
So he greenlit that version of it. So assuming that's the version we get, I say assuming.
How have I missed the Doctor Who ranting? We can always go straight back into it.
We've not stopped, mate. We've not stopped.
Tom, do you want to get in the stream? We can send you a link.
Send links to both of them.
Oh yeah, Malcolm from Evolution. Do you want to jump in as well?
It might make life a lot easier.
Yeah, because then we can just chat. Like two like physical beings.
Get me
in.
Oh,
Right, Tom. Can you do me a favour? Can you Facebook message me your email address again, please?
Thomas.
I know it's something underscore something.
Thomas, I hate Sean for not including
Yeah.
You bastard.
I'm not in this, you fuckers. Oh, all right, fair enough. Malcolm, he says, no, I'm good watching you guys. All right, fair play.
Thank you.
Right, so I've copied that. Jack, I'm going to need you to sign into your email in a minute.
You know my username and password. Come on.
Oh yeah, but where's your email account? Oh, it's Gmail there. There we go.
Yeah, you know all my stuff. Come on. I gave it to both of you to send it into my fucking Disney Plus and shit.
Oh yeah, no, I've got my own Disney Plus now, so I don't pirate it anymore.
I think it.
First of all, it wasn't pirate. I just allowed you to use it.
Okay.
He sent it. Right, let's have a look.
I'm a
There we
great
go.
space coaster. Shut up, Ricky. Shut up.
Yeah, but did you not see the dream that the guy has before he dies in the wall?
Oh,
It's so fucked
Tom,
up.
sorry, my fucking.
It's like,
I'm a useless bastard. My phone just died. Can you message it to Harry or Jack, please?
Just can't get the technology.
I know, you can't get the staff
You
these
can't
days.
get the Sean these days.
No, I
That's
know,
the
right?
problem.
It's terrible.
Can't get enough of Sean.
All right. Yeah, just send a message to Harry or just put it in the group chat.
Oh yeah. We can all have your email address.
And we have I can start sending you those awful pictures I have. Get you involved in that group chat.
All right.
I shouldn't
What?
say- Sorry. You
Yeah.
two are separate from this group chat. This is a very separate one. That's full of very, very bad things.
That's all right. Right now.
This is
Tom, bloody hell. Yeah, Malcolm. Just say Jack's info live. Yeah. So basically, No, we're joking.
I live at 722 Evergreen Terrace,
Hey,
There you go. You got your
24 Acacia Road.
22.
when he eats a banana.
Basically, that's what I
Do me a favour. Jack, type his email address.
Oh. Sorry, camera, you're going to get a close up of my face
All
for
right.
a few seconds. To Garrigan.
Well, don't say it out loud. For fuck's sake.
Just realised what I was saying, so I'll stop now. At Sean
Cunt.
dash hot pants boysforless.com.
All right. And then what you're going to do.
That's
is-
his email. You can do
Yeah,
the rest.
I'll do that. Right.
Yes, you're coming. He's coming in. I'm coming. I'm coming.
I'm coming, yeah.
What was that?
I'm coming,
That was that fucking Arnie from Wish.
Hey, boy.
I'm actually quite terrified. What the fuck is going on?
Put the cookie down.
Stop it.
Stop it. I grab you on the ass.
Put the cookie down. Oh.
Sorry, Jack. Just type it in on that one and then click send, please.
But what?
His email address. His email address at the top, and then click
Oh
send
man,
at
we're
the
so
bottom.
professional at this.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we should
Well, the thing
totally
is-
have this down
That's
by
right. Well,
now.
the thing is, that's why most people plan the live stream. So maybe we should do try and just announce it on
Actually
Twitter
plan it.
and let plan it. Yeah. See, and you've done all right. See, it's not too bad, is it?
No, I haven't said anything controversial.
Yeah.
Well, let's start getting Harry to talk about what he feels about the Jews.
What?
What juice? Right, Tom. Email has been sent, so yeah, check your inbox and then just click on the link, and then we should just be able to add you in.
Sean will. I have no idea what's going on because, quite frankly,
Tom says, "Keep your bloody mouth shut." I think that was about when you were about to say his full name, in details. Hey, Malcolm, don't worry, Harry. I'm just as professional. He's brilliant. I love Malcolm.
Right, here we
So
go.
that's the great-
We're about the streams back.
Our wizard master editor is about to join us.
What, you mean our Grand Dragon?
We're not part of the KKK. Whoopsie! Don't worry, it's good there's only 4 people watching this stream.
Three.
Yeah, Tom's not watching that because he's
That was
doing
almost
it.
as bad as that time when Samuel L. Jackson dressed up as a Nazi in The Spirit. And I saw people leaving the cinema and I thought, I wish I was
Oh, wow, brilliant.
Oh.
All right, Tom. God,
Give it the program then. This isn't like suit.
you want me on here?
As he said,
The missus just told me, said Mrs. Hey, don't get too drunk. Well, it's like,
What are you on?
I think we're a bit late for that, but okay. I'm going to send you a picture of my crime.
How romantic. I'm
That's how they do these
I'm
things.
so glad that romance hasn't died.
Chivalry is never dead. Right, Tom, if you have any issues, just put it in the group chat. But you shouldn't do.
If you got issues, because both me and
There he is. This is the backstage. Right, add to stream.
Don't
whoops.
push it too far.
Hang on a minute, wait a minute. Yeah, hello!
My laptop.
Oh, it's gonna fall off.
Jack's put it on top of a candle
No,
holder.
you
for
put it.
fuck's sake.
You stuck it on top of my dick hole. You twit
You
bag.
put it on there first. Right, turn it up so we can hear Tom.
God, so much bitching going on.
This is what we do.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, mate.
Yay!
Suppose you three think this is acceptable, right?
Sorry,
I was literally on a Zoom call with somebody else. I just glanced at my phone for a second. I saw Nerdaholics Live and I was like,
And generally speaking, it was literally like completely unplanned. We were just watching videos back and we were like, should we just do a quick stream? Yeah, fuck it, why not?
I'll explain why the views went up a little bit on the Metal Gear Solid video.
Sorry, Mum.
Anyway, how are you?
What you've been talking about, Doctor Who and stuff.
Yeah, just about like
the
our
current
sort of,
state of affairs.
concerns about the new era. You know my thoughts on this, Tom, anyway, which I sort of made clear earlier on in chat. So, yeah, what about you? What do you
You're not looking to the... like I said, I think the show should have gone on a... Like I've said to you guys before, I think the show should have gone on like a 5 to 10 year hiatus.
Yeah.
And then maybe bring it back with the whole David Tennant thing. I can't say I've been too impressed with any of the trailers I've seen recently.
Mhm.
It just looks like an extension of
Series
Series 4.
Yeah.
Me. I more than likely will watch the first couple of episodes just to see what it's like, because I am curious.
Yeah.
And it's probably the most interested I've been in Doctor Who since Series 9.
Yeah.
So I am a little bit intrigued, but I'm not going to hold my breath at the same time.
Evolution again. What's your favourite spirit, or do you guys just drink beers? Or beer drinkers?
I mean, we are just
Well,
drinking beer at the moment.
At the moment, yeah, but if you've watched the
Hang
Doom
on a
Annihilation
second.
review, Jack is a very different drunk on vodka. He's coming back.
Where's he gone?
He's gone to the kitchen. Okay, here we go. Anyway, Tom, you had a good day, mate?
Yeah, fine.
In the flat right now,
Oh,
I've got-
Christ.
McKendrick's whiskey.
No.
That's more for sore throats and stuff, but you know, whatever.
Oh.
And Tanqueray London Dry Gin.
Yeah.
That's for shits and giggles. You can't have any of it, either of you, because
No.
you're both swine.
Yeah, well, yeah, good.
I'm sorry, Tom. They led me astray. They're bad people.
Bullshit, you were the one who said you had a free
They did naughty
2 nights
things.
ago.
They were doing naughty things in my flat, and
You're
I'm very
the one
upset.
that begged us round here.
By the way, Jack, nearly giving my email out to everybody.
Say that again.
Jack nearly giving my email out to everybody. Shut up, you idiot!
we actually, when we were watching some of the Dragon Ball videos that you guys posted up. It was really
Can I
good.
just say I fucking hate Dragon Ball now? After I've gone from loving a show to actively despising it now. It just felt like the editing was never going to end.
And then when YouTube kept like fucking blocking it as well. Like, oh, this one thing.
Yeah.
Jack Daniels.
YouTube, like,
Yeah.
What was I taking the piss out of earlier about Dragon Ball Z?
Boobs and
although you were saying you should do a rebuttal because of the weird shit that
Tom,
goes
you know,
on as well.
you know that you.
Oh yes, there's the moment where Android
16.
16 has his head squashed, and then Gohan's eyes is like the bird that flies past. I was like,
You know what? I hate the show so much now. I agree with you.
Is Harry and Sean want to make a rebuttal video to the very hard work you did on our 3-hour video?
Well, no, I'd just like to say I agree, but I think Garlic Jr. should be an E-rank.
Yes, there is other animes I like.
Go on then.
Name
Oh, no, so he did ask you to name it.
Name 3 animes you like that aren't Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball associated products.
Okay, I like Black Blood Brothers.
Okay, one.
Blood Brothers.
I have seen it.
It's about vampires.
No, I know, it's great.
You like Akira, Harry?
I
Yeah.
do like Akira.
Cowboy Bebop.
That's 2.
I like Cowboy Bebop. I actually like the live action series of Cowboy Bebop.
To be
as
fair,
well.
because you said you like the live action version of it, I think that should be disregarded. I think you need a third option.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I'm not gonna argue. I'm with Jack on that one.
I've watched both. That's the thing, I've watched both of them.
Again, your opinion now means nothing because you said you like the live action version.
Oh, fuck off.
One Piece.
Yeah, okay, one.
I'm not doing one.
Harry, for what it's worth, I have watched Dragon Ball Evolution. So,
I'll
Yeah.
be an old man by the time I get to the end of one.
20 years of episodes to watch. Yes! Hey, come on, you like Doctor Who. You like a slow burn. It's good. It's fun.
Yeah, but technically the slow pan ended in 1989.
yeah, 989 is when it finished.
Yeah.
Didn't carry on after that.
Anyway, Tom, so do you have any burning things you want to talk about?
no, not really. I was like, I want to join.
I don't want anything to say.
Tell you what, who's going? How's everyone feeling about the Dead Space remake coming out in a couple of weeks?
Oh, I don't really have an opinion on it because I haven't really played them, so you can,
No,
you
it's
can do that
pants.
one.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
No, it's pants.
Oh, here
I'm sorry.
we
The
go.
original Dead Space was great. It was perfect the way it was. And now they're trying to change it because they're like, oh, Isaac's got a voice now. Because he needs a voice. No, he doesn't need to have a voice. He's a great song.
They make Isaac look really young in the Dead Space remake, and his
Very
girlfriend.
good. Death Note's also very good. Death Note was very good for the first
very
half.
good.
The
So
second
is My Hero Academia, actually. That's another very good anime.
Oh, My Hero Academia, yeah. That's
I watched the first season of My Hero Academia, and beyond the whole All Might plus Ultra moment, which was absolutely legendary by most anime standards, I didn't really get into it beyond that.
What about Attack on Titan?
Yeah, that's great as well. Evangelion, that's another very good one.
Yeah.
Akira, like Harry mentioned, I still don't understand what that film's about. And Harry's tried sitting down drawing diagrams for me, and I'm still like fucking Ralph Wiggum at the end of it. I still don't.
I'm in danger.
A great film though. It's beautiful to look at.
Like generating a whole new universe.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
Tetsuo becomes so powerful.
Oh, yeah, Tetsuo, yeah.
Akira's the guy who's trying to stop him. That's
But
what
also,
it is.
Akira, both of them are that powerful. That's the problem.
I have seen Akira about 3 times, and there's only 2 scenes I can remember. It's the scene with the clowns at the beginning, the clown chase.
Yeah, the bike scene is the best
Yeah,
film.
it's amazing. It
Yeah.
happens in like the first 10 minutes. And then when what's his name? Tetsuo? Is that his name? When he like morphs into that abomination at that
That's
Resident
really weird.
abomination at the end of it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's Final Fantasy VII Advent Children count as anime.
No.
No.
I've never known a series like Final Fantasy. Like the game Final Fantasy VII is a masterpiece. But anything around it as part of the extended universe is, with the exception of Crisis Core, is not very good. Like in terms of like, I don't know, Jack, if you ever played Dirge of Cerberus, that was
That's great.
Isn't it the Echoes of Shadow? Whatever that's the first one that they did, the movie. That's terrible.
Oh, what? Spirits Within.
Spirits Within.
Within.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not really. That was just
I
weird.
know it didn't relate to anything. It related to
that
about
nearly bankrupted the company. It was that bad.
The thing is, right? First of all, Final Fantasy VII is great, right?
Yeah.
Then you get Dirge of Cerberus, and Dirge of Cerberus is fucking beautiful because that's Vincent Valentine being like all super emo and just shooting people.
who the fuck's Vincent Valentine?
Dude,
I didn't like Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh, that guy that like turns up halfway through the game for no real explanation.
He's actually an optional character. You go through the entire game,
Exactly.
not even meet him, and then he's been given his own game. I really like the remake, though. I thought the remake was great, but I feel everything Square Enix is pumping out now is just Final Fantasy VII related. It's like, you do have other games you're working on.
I respectfully disagree. Final Fantasy 15 was very good because that's just basically Stand By Me with.
I thought Final Fantasy 15
but it's like
I'm so glad Tom's on the other side of it.
Yeah. The voice of reason is over there.
No, the voice of reason is telling me if he was here. That's what happened.
I thought Final Fantasy 15 was good considering it went through development hell. It felt like that game was never going to come out. And when it came out, it was a remarkably polished game, considering all we heard was bad things about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that game is a really, really good story about brotherhood and found family in a really good way, in the kind of sort of story that you don't normally get these days because everything's so much. Shut up, Harry. I can see what you're doing, you dickweed. He's trying to touch my Sonic the Hedgehog cuddly toy. Let's just have camera shot.
Have any of you played Sonic Frontiers?
No.
No, neither have I. It looks like Breath of the Wild meets.
I watched Sonic Prime I watched Sonic Prime on Amazon Prime. That was quite good.
Oh, yeah. Isn't this like the 50th rendition of Sonic doing a show?
Oh, of course it is. But every version of Sonic the Hedgehog's like the 50th version.
Yeah, but it's not the original, though, is it?
First of all, shut up.
That's all he's got for you at the moment. Shut up, Harry. Shut up. Just
Stop
shut up.
fucking squeezing my tits.
Evolution of the Geek is he says the only game he's looking forward to is Hogwarts Legacy. I can't say that's on my list of most anticipated games this year.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it does look very good.
Yeah.
If you're a Harry Potter fan, it looks really, really good.
I did quite like Hill versus Babyface's video on that as well, because he's like, yeah, I'm going to buy loads of copies of it just to stick it to the idiots who said, don't buy this game. So, yeah, I'm going to release it on Steam codes and everything.
But on a legit level, right? From how Harry Potter looks in universe when you watch the films, right, or read the books, and how the game looks to play, it looks really legit. Yeah. It's like you can't just do a spell like just press X to make X happen.
So you have to work up to it.
You got to work up to it in the right way.
Yeah.
And that's what
Guardian of your car.
Basically, yeah. You're being a dick, but
it's wrong, Harry. It's not Lingardian Leviosa.
What is if it's something you're into, and okay, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but the missus is. I just like the death. That's basically it.
I'm waiting.
Look, if you're a Harry Potter fan, Hogwarts Legacy looks very good.
Yeah, knock yourself out, basically.
Yeah.
No, I know you all probably disagree with me, but I'm really looking forward to Starfield. I know it's going to be a buggy mess, but I'm really looking forward to that.
But it'll be a beautiful buggy mess.
Yeah.
That's what it will be. It'll look really good, but be buggy as shit.
Yeah, of course.
You'll be like walking out.
The only Bethesda game I'm really looking forward to is whenever the new Elder Scrolls is coming out. And God knows what that's going to be.
Yeah.
Which
probably won't be till like 2030 now.
Yeah, it's
still churning out that tired old engine that they've been using for so long.
Oh, we've released another DLC.
The same engine they use for Morrowind, they're trying to pump out Elder Scrolls 6.
You can play It's still quite genius.
Yeah.
I actually was amused by the mod. It's just Sky Oblivion. I was like,
I mean, fair play to Bethesda. They're not trying to shut that down or anything. It looks amazing. You want to play Oblivion again?
Yeah.
Oh, and Harry, in April, we're finally getting the Resident Evil 4 remake. And we're finally going to see, have Capcom managed to pull off what I think was an impossible task when they first announced it. From what I've seen and from what I've heard, it seems very, very positive. So, fingers crossed.
in answer to the question that has been asked, yes, and to a very specific game
100%.
called Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
War in the North.
War in the North. Oh God, because it kept glitching out.
No, there was a game-breaking glitch on the a game-breaking glitch in which you needed to speak to Balram, the Lord of Eagles.
The Eagles, yeah.
And then he just wouldn't load to speak to him.
No,
Just stand there in the background, and you go and speak to him, and then the game would just you couldn't go any further. So yes, I have rage quit.
I will admit to rage quitting at various moments of certain games, depending on what it is at the time and how much it's pissing me off.
Oh, every time
But-
I don't win at FIFA.
Is that all the time?
I will.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
I will
And then
say
Souls
to
game.
most games I have come back to them and finished them, but yeah, I've had rage quit moments because I think we all have, really. To be
Yeah,
fair,
any Souls.
I actually had one last night. Funnily enough. I was playing God of War, the one that came out in 2018,
Yeah.
and you fight these opponents called Valkyries.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I thought I was playing Elden Ring all of a sudden. I was quite comfortable getting through the journey. Then all of a sudden, this fucking Dark Souls Valkyrie comes out of nowhere, and it must have taken me I basically just turned the game off. Said this game's stupid. I don't want to play it anymore. Worst game ever. And then I played it the next day and beat it on the first attempt. So
Sometimes you need a break before you go back to these games.
The computer game gods are smiling upon you.
Yeah. They're like, well, it's just not going to work.
Harry and Sean have seen me rage quit Sonic games many a time. Namely, when we're trying to get every S rank in Sonic Generations.
How can you rage quit Sonic? Because Sonic's got the best music ever. You just keep going for the music.
No, it fucking hasn't when you're listening to it over.
Especially when you try.
Because it was this level. I don't know if you remember it, Harry. Remember Rooftop Run from Sonic Generations? Sonic level. And remember you had those side missions that you can do. Because me and Harry were determined to S rank everything in Sonic Generation. And there was this annoying mission where you keep having to jump on these hot air balloons. And after the 50th attempt, I said, screw Harry, screw Sonic, I'm going home.
Yeah, screw going.
I just couldn't stand it. But yes, I would say I have rage quit many games.
Oh, yeah.
Thing is, rage
And
quit.
like that said, I've gone back and managed to do
I
it.
love everything. It's like, well, you hate it, but you love it so much.
Yeah, but it is a bad thing when you don't pick it up for like years. And you go, I can't remember.
Oh yeah, going back to it
you
like
can't
so many years after it's bad.
That's right for me.
It's at the
Yeah,
same.
no, I did the same thing with Snowman Sky. I came back to it and I was like,
Where am I?
Why have I got a massive ship? I can't remember any of this crap.
And it's like, oh yeah, you have to build these hydraulics with this amount of these scraps. Yeah, then you have to go to like the nearest space. Oh, fuck, I'll start again.
Because Tony Stark managed to make this in a fucking cave with some scraps.
I just heard Sonic music in the background.
Yeah.
I could never do that though, by the way. Can you guys let's say a game like The Witcher 3, then stop playing it, then go back to it in a couple of months and pick up where you left off? Because I've never been able to do that.
I only do that with like very open work like that, and like Skyrim, for example. Like Skyrim, you can pretty much just kind of pick up where you left off because it's so open.
I suppose it's because Skyrim doesn't. I mean, it has a main story, but doesn't really have one at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Skyrim, I can understand, but I've heard people saying they can start God of War, put it down for like a couple of months, then go back and play again and pick up where they left off. I could just never do that for
I have to do what now? I can't remember the physics.
Yeah. And you just forget the story and the characters and what's going on.
Yeah, 100%.
Evolution of the Geek. What was the? What do you think is the best wrestling game ever made?
Ooh, SmackDown 2.
No mercy.
WCW.
No Mercy is a good shout, Harry. I think for me it was probably remember the PlayStation 2 where it was like Here Comes the Pain and
Bring it.
yeah, that was probably my favorite one. You had like the campaign was like 2
Yeah,
years
that was the first game that I had for the PS
WWE.
for Christmas. It was like that, and yeah, it was the one with the Rock going like that, and I think it was Just Bring It. Yeah.
Just bring it.
Yeah, I think it was Know Your because there were
Yeah,
three.
well,
The first one was really bad, and I think it may have been Just Bring It. And I think the second one was Know Your Role, and then they did Here Comes the Pain. Know Your Role and Here Comes the Pain were really good.
Yeah.
The campaign was really good. I haven't played any of the 2K Smack.
The last one I played was I think it was like 2K15, but that was back. I think that from what I remember,
that CM Punk on the front, and it had an Attitude Era.
it was later than 15. I think it was like
2013 for CM Punk.
Oh yeah, but yeah, you're probably right actually. Because the last time I remember with 2K15, it was the last time where you actually had you could create like your own storyline kind of thing.
Yeah.
Rather than just going through like the motions of what the game
WWE
is to do.
13. Ooh.
WWE 13, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's the CM Punk one.
I mean, I quite like the
I think I
Raw.
did play that one actually.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Raw vs SmackDown was quite good.
Yeah.
Mostly because
Yeah,
you can
just
basically just have the general manager. I
Yeah.
loved all that sort of stuff. It ended up being a bit like fantasy wrestling manager, isn't it?
Yeah,
There wasn't
pretty
really
much.
wrestling matches. It was
No.
just kind of like,
Whatever
we'll put
you
these
want.
two together.
We'll put this legend who's probably dead now against like.
Trouble is, I've got the new one, and I've basically created WCW, ECW, AEW, and WWE, and I've got so many shows that I'm just like,
I can't be bothered. Yeah,
there's so
too
many
much
wrestlers
to run.
on them
Yeah.
that I don't really want to play as any of them.
Yeah, you just want to
There's
run
like 214 wrestlers, and I actually want to play as 4 of them.
Whenever I get a new wrestling game back in the day, the first character I always pick was Austin.
Yeah. So I was just looking at the comments.
Yeah, I enjoyed WWE. SmackDown versus Raw 2008 with the GM. Yeah, the GM mode because it was.
Is that the one where you have to run it like you'd have a budget and you'd have to create?
Well, it was the first time they had the draw in real life, and then they had the draw in the game, and it was like, we have the draw.
Because they tried to make it
two
like
different
the.
titles, and
It was like they tried to make it like the American football draft.
yeah,
It's like
to
trying to
shake
base it
up
on that, the monotony.
the format. That's what I was looking for.
Oh.
Sorry, Jack, you can't join in on the wrestling conversation.
No, he's just looking for the next Sonic
Sam
conversation.
doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
I know that there's a guy called The Undertaker, and he was so
Oh,
cool.
actually, and he was up until about 3 years ago.
Pluck out one of them.
Oh, no, one name!
Jack, actually, no, we were talking about Metal Gear Solid earlier about the videos we did. About you wanted to chime in on your.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, Tom, I'm just going to let you know, I'm going to make a rebuttal video to your Metal Gear Solid video at some point. I'm calling it your video because they've said to call it your video.
Yeah, pretty much is.
Well,
I look
basically,
forward to Jack's 2-hour rebuttal and him bringing all these receipts with him for everything.
By the way, Sniper Wolf was misunderstood.
Sniper Wolf was misunderstood because she was a lady who liked wolves. She was a furry. How dare you hate her?
Why did you hate Metal Gear Solid 5?
Quiet! Stay out of our way!
Jack's it's not 5, it's actually called Metal Gear Solid V.
Venom Strike!
And the full title is Ground Zeroes and
the Phantom Pain.
Did I enjoy the Sonic movie? Yes. Did I enjoy the second Sonic movie? Yes.
I enjoyed all the Sonic movies.
I also enjoyed the third Sonic movie because there's technically 3. The first one's the animated one from like the 90s, which was Sonic versus Metal Sonic, which was awesome.
Which is now going to be in the next.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Well, no, the next one's going to be Sonic versus Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Spoilers. Sonic 2.
Sorry, everybody who likes Sonic.
We'll put it in the title afterwards.
Or one of you in the chat, spoilers.
Spoiler Malcolm.
If it's honestly,
No, I really like both Sonic movies. I was pleasantly surprised.
I haven't seen the second one, but I did like the first one.
honestly, on a serious way, if you're talking about it, the first Sonic movie is very good. It does the whole. The only thing I take umbrage with they slow everything down while he runs around.
Yeah, but he's
Because
that fast though.
Yeah, he is that fast. I get that.
It's the Quicksilver
It's
thing,
the,
isn't it?
They do the Quicksilver thing that they've done a few times already.
Rip
They
it
don't,
off. If it's a good idea, rip it off. Fuck it.
dude, don't be such a dick. Come on, be
I was
chill.
talking about ripping stuff off earlier in the 80s.
Anyway,
there you go. That's what every.
But with the
comes from.
second Sonic film, Idris Elba as Knuckles, beautiful choice.
And he's so Thor-like in it. I like it.
Oh yeah, it's like I like grapes. Woo-ah. It's like, you can't argue with that because it's so stupid but fun at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you get,
but there is one amazing moment in that film.
which one?
It's when he starts moving the thing and he starts Walk by Pantera starts playing.
Yeah. Carey specifically requested that song to be used there.
Oh really?
I think he did because he's a huge metalhead, and it wouldn't
If you like
surprise.
the first movie, you'll like the second movie. I promise you that. The evolution of the game.
The second one's a bit closer to the theme of the games.
Well, you got the dance scene in the middle of like a Russian cabin. It's kind of that's not, I don't think I've seen any of the games myself from what I remember, but
all
I
they
know
needed
that.
was to bring like fucking Michael Jackson back
Look,
from
at
the
least
dead.
he isn't trying to fuck a princess.
No, but seriously though, the second Sonic movie, if you like the first one, you'll like the second one, and I would argue to a noticeable degree, the second one's probably a little bit better than the first one, and that's just me. But you know,
Fair enough.
I just like the fact that you get a proper Dr. Robotnik with his big.
oh yeah, Jim
small
Carrey's
Mac.
Jim Carrey is going full on. I'm Dr. Robotnik, but I'm 1990s Jim Carrey still, and
It's Ace Ventura if he was evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Evil.
However, alrighty then.
Jack Hogan's not actually that evil.
into loads of the memes. The whole Uganda Knuckles, do you know the way thing is at the very beginning of the film. Knuckles is like, where is this? I'm Robotnik. Do you want to know the way? And it's like,
Did I hear you correctly that Metal Sonic's the antagonist in the new film?
no, it's,
No.
well, it's going to be
She was
Shadow. It's at the end credits scene of the second film. Sorry for spoilers.
I know Shadow appears.
He's Shadow.
Is he going to be? He's
if
more
Metal
like
Sonic-
an anti-hero, though. He's not really a villain.
Well,
the game.
And neither is Knuckles.
well, it depends.
He's an anti-hero.
Metal Sonic is just a robot. It doesn't count as a villain. It's just a robot.
Yeah.
It's no more evil than the big egg mech from the end of Sonic 2. But at the same time, it comes down to how you want to define it and how you want to work it in, really. Stop yawning.
Yeah. Harry's ready for bed now.
Yeah,
Harry's ready for bed now.
Yeah.
I just opened the link and I just saw Sean and Jack talking, and Harry just had that massive Domino's pizza box.
He's just turned up
And
like that.
I'm thinking to myself, this is amazing content for the channel.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, though. If you like the Sonic stuff, watch Detective Pikachu if you haven't. Detective Pikachu.
was
That's
quite-
actually quite good. That's
That
actually
is
pretty good.
surprisingly good. That has enough heart to it where it's like,
Look, I'm telling you,
F
dude. Anyone who comes to see me is going, bigger, bigger, bigger. Oh, bigger, bigger, bigger.
Pika, Pika.
Yeah, I did like that film.
Oh, there's a little moments in it. It's like, yeah, we're gonna fight this. I'm gonna fight the Charizard because I beat it before. It's like, no,
That's not how it works.
It's the little stuff like that. You love it. You love when these movies have a bit of heart to them, and they put the effort in, and that's what they do with the Sonic movies. That's what they do with Detective Pikachu.
Well, considering they listened to fans and were like, that looks shit. Let's change the design
Yeah.
quickly.
Talking about Sonic.
Make it look like an actual computer game.
Yeah.
You talking about Sonic there, Sean?
Something,
Yeah.
something that was-
That studio that redesigned, they actually went bust doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did. So it's very rare you hear a studio going back. You see a studio going back in and completely redesigning something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really happy they did it because the redesign's 1,000 times better. The first one was just looked gross.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible.
It made me feel ill looking at it. Like I felt sick looking at the character. You know, like this weird nodes and like these weird.
And that weird stuff around the eyes and shit.
Yeah. And the tone of the trailer was bad as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they've had a 3D rendered model of Sonic to go by all these years. It's not
I
difficult.
don't understand why Sega. I haven't played Sonic Frontiers, but the main feedback I hear from it is that it's actually pretty good. But I don't understand how you can keep messing up something like Sonic. So you get a great game like Colors,
You should be able to, but at the same,
and you get a great game like Generations, and then you go from that to people really like these games. Like when they first did Sonic Unleashed, everybody hated the Werehog, but they loved the actual Sonic stages. So they learned from that and said, okay, well, let's do Sonic Colors, but just make it all daytime stages like you had from Sonic Unleashed. Then expand further on that in Generations. You clearly have a winning formula there. And then they released that game called Sonic Lost Worlds it was like a Wii U exclusive. And everyone's like, what the hell is this? Like, you've changed everything again.
yeah.
Nobody likes it. And then they did Sonic Frontiers and everybody hated that. And then they did Rise of Lyric and they changed up everything once again and everybody hated that as well. And why is there not a Sonic Mania 2? That was like the most popular Sonic game they've released since Sonic 3. Like in terms of like scores from critics. And why have they not done a Sonic Mania 2 where it's all original new 2D stages?
Yeah,
the
exactly.
classic pixel formula. I don't understand it.
Yeah, Sonic Mania was great.
Yeah.
Evolution of the Geek. My favorite console is probably the PlayStation 2. Pound for pound, it's the PlayStation 2.
Oh, that's a good question.
Most of my favourite games have either been N64 or PlayStation 2, but I couldn't quantify which ones.
For me,
I'd go for.
it'd be either the Mega Drive or the PS2.
PlayStation 1's a close second, but it's probably the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
It's because the games on PS2 were just that bit better.
2001 PlayStation 2 exclusives was a mad year. You had GTA 3, Metal Gear Solid 2, Jack and Daxter, Final Fantasy 10, Max Payne, Devil May Cry. Did I say GTA 3 as well? I said that already.
This is
We also had Vice City on PS2 as well.
and San Andreas.
That was like the best year for gaming. There were like 20 AAA titles that came out that year, and they all were amazing.
I played all games on the PlayStation 2, but my favourite games were on the N64. But when you put them next to each other, it's so hard to choose between the two of them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I like Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, and Ocarina of Time,
GoldenEye.
and GoldenEye more than I like
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Mario 64.
64.
I like those
64 variants of all the games.
Yeah.
Lilac Wars. I like those more than say GTA 3. But at the same time, it's like I played so much more stuff on the PlayStation 2 that it'd be stupid.
You put more hours into the PS2.
My PlayStation 2 collection is massive.
Oh yeah.
I've got so many games for the PlayStation 2. So I always thought it was the PlayStation, but I think the more I think about it, it is probably the PlayStation 2. It was just such an amazing. We talked about it in our previous videos before. But the jump from that generation to the PS2, like from PlayStation to PlayStation 2, was just such a mammoth.
You had a DVD player as well, and DVD players on their own at that time were like £300-400, and then you had the PS2, which was a gaming console and a DVD player for the same price, pretty much.
Are you more disc or digital? I actually have a disc drive version of the PlayStation 5 because I like collecting things. So, I have a disc version of it.
Shut up. This is it. This is the whole thing.
Oh, Harry, high five.
Yeah. This is, right, you look. This is how the other half live.
By the way, Harry,
I've got PlayStation 5. I've got disc in it. Fuck the pair of you.
I just don't care enough.
Let me just give it. Sorry, Jack, just to interrupt. Like, I played Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation 4, and it ran really well on that. But you could tell the PlayStation 4 was legit dying trying to run that game. I got it on PlayStation 5 as part of my Christmas present, and there's not like with the PlayStation 5, there's not like a humongous jump in graphics from the PlayStation 4, but in terms of actual hardware, it's like eliminating load times and things like that, and games just running at like a smooth 60 frames per second, and been able to run games in 4K. It's just amazing. It's such a beast of a console.
I'd probably get the digital version because literally for the last few years I've just been downloading my games.
Can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fine, Sean. That's fine. There's no major difference. I just like collecting.
Oh yeah,
no.
With a grippy, a 5-year-old who likes to just like throw things around. It's probably safer for me anyway to have a digital version so that it doesn't like break any shit.
Well, the thing is, it's like the first. When I first got Final Fantasy IX, that was on disc.
Best game ever.
It only came out on those at that period in time.
Yeah.
I put it in my original PlayStation, and it basically killed it. Smoke came out of it because it required more from the machine than the machine could deliver, even though on paper the machine could deliver it.
Yeah.
And
the Final Fantasy IX was one of those PlayStation games because it came quite late in the life cycle of the PlayStation.
Yeah, so very much towards the end of it.
Yeah. But you can tell it really, 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 really pushed the console to its very limit. It's a 4-disc mammoth of a game.
You get to disc 4, and then you start the Silver Dragons, and it's like, boom, that's it, it's done.
Yeah.
It could not cope with the Silver Dragon death sequence.
Yeah, the game nearly died.
Yeah, physically. Yeah.
And it's like, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like a digital thing would survive that, but again, back in those days, digital things didn't.
There was no options. Yeah.
I'm just more used to having physical media.
Evolution of the
I
geek.
also kind of prefer.
Knowing that you've got a PS5, Thomas, where I'm from, PS5s are out of stock everywhere.
To address that point, I asked for it for my birthday, mainly because I couldn't be asked to go on the pilgrimage to find a PS5, so I left it to my brother Joseph. And I had these, and I was watching. I heard you guys talking about Jingle All the Way before I came, and I actually watched over Christmas. And I was thinking to myself, this is Joseph trying to find me a PS5, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said,
PS5.
he ordered it. Well, we don't have the PS5, but we have the Xbox. Oh, nobody likes you, Xbox.
Out the window. What's this brick?
You can only play Starfield and have a PC.
My brother, seriously, Evolution, like, just put an order in directly with Sony, and the chances are you'll get a PS5. That's what my brother did. And he said it was the easiest thing ever. He put the order in with Sony, and 2 weeks later it came. He actually tricked me into it. He said, "Oh, I haven't managed to get you the PS5 for your birthday, so I'm going to try and get it for your Christmas. But what I got for you instead is a hamper." And I'm thinking to myself, a fucking hamper? I don't want a hamper. Where's the goddamn PS5? And he came in and he invited me into his room and said, "Yeah, it's just in that box there." And I opened it up and it was a great big white box PS5. I was like, "Oh, you got me as well." But yeah, amazing console. Love it. The design of it is actually really grown on me as well.
You spent
I spent about 800.
Fuck it.
Well, no. But the thing is, it came with all the.
This is how the other half live, everyone.
Not just the console.
He's got 800 quid.
Money bags here.
It was just.
You see him walking down the street, he's a good old mugging target. He's got money all the
It's
time.
not just the console. I got the controller. I got the.
Oh, the controller should come with the machine anyway. Yes, okay.
Harry's like, it came with a HDMI cable as well.
If you're lucky.
Have you seen the HDMI cable? It's like this fucking thick.
I've got all the accessories as well.
Did you get
The way Courage were doing it is they only had stock with the bundles.
Yeah.
So I got one of the bundles.
Oh, what games came with the bundle?
I think I got Into the West.
For Horizon.
It's really very
Yeah,
cool.
I've been meaning to play those games because it looks right up my alley because I like role
The lore
playing.
is so much better than the actual game.
Say that again?
The lore is so much better than the actual game.
Oh, okay. I think the first game's on PC. I was planning on getting them on PS5. I was going to play Dead Space Remake on PS5 as well. I'm planning on getting it for the console.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn's really good.
Horizon Zero Dawn is really good. It's a really amazing story, but the actual gameplay itself
Say that again, Tom.
isn't that exciting.
I think Callisto Protocol, although it ran fine on the PS5, apparently it ran like complete and utter arse on PC. So I think with the Dead Space remake, I'll probably get that.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Logic
Long time no see. Yeah, he's an old school. He's an old school no zone chatter. Hey, Jack,
He knows my
He's been
name.
supporting us for a long time. So welcome, Paul. Good to see you, man. How's you been? You been all right? Oh, well, we can answer that in a minute.
How much are the PS4 controllers going for, Evolution?
I think they're still about 40 quid, aren't they?
No more Sharknado reviews.
I've got no more Sharknado. He says that every single time. Like, no more Sharknado. That's the beauty of it, though.
First of all, how dare you? Sharknado is the most beautiful thing.
This is the same argument I keep having with you.
Guys, I'll be right back.
I'm sorry. No, you're wrong.
Everyone, the thing is, you're watching it.
Shows you that you're wrong.
Paul, you're watching it wrong. You're looking at it like it's supposed to be serious. It's not, and they take the piss out of each other. The further it goes on to the point where it's like they're a meme of themselves now.
The first one I think was probably trying to be serious, but everything after that is
just when they realised it was like no.
I should have one.
I think I was going to say this will probably be my last one as well.
Well, I'll kick you out of my house, you fucking freeloading bastards! After you
Fucking freeloading! Cheeky bastard!
How dare you besmirch the good name of Sharknado? I'm going to pull down my jumper now.
Anyway.
I've got to be in a relatively decent state tomorrow. Your brother will kill me.
He won't kill you. He loves you too
well,
much.
no, yeah. Well, yeah, be good.
Tom's disappeared.
Maybe he's going for a piss. Maybe, yeah.
I hope so.
Well, if he's taking the camera in with him and he's doing the toilet, that's a bit weird. We're not quite OnlyFans just yet.
Nearly.
Oh, if only.
Yeah. If only fans. Yeah. Sharknado is like the human centipede. You have to see it at least once. Yeah, each one. Yeah. There's 6 of them, Paul. So you've got to put yourself through that 6 times.
I also
and it
think
gets progressively funnier as it goes on.
There's also more than one human centipede.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's about 3 of them now.
Yeah.
They didn't even get fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson in one of them. It was like the fucking 4th or 5th one. And he's like, do you know, you don't even remember. Yeah, it's great. Well, it's like
Neil deGrasse Tyson's in the Human Centipede.
No, he's in Sharknado 5.
Oh, I remember that. That's fine. I was just thinking.
He's like, oh, but he's like, this would never be real and a real part of science and all this sort of stuff. It's like he's just taking the piss out of himself. And the fact that they managed to get like at least one WWE wrestler in each film, this is quite funny.
What, like Tara Reid?
Well, yeah, but she gets.
He's back. He's back.
Hey,
welcome back.
Hey, it's Tara Reid.
Oh, I was going to wet myself just then.
Don't worry, I've written myself like 3 times. It's all good.
It's a regular character.
Yeah, well done. Yeah. He just doesn't realise.
£40 or £50 for a PS4 controller.
Yeah, it's still is about that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Do you mind if I ask where you live?
I mean, lithium's expensive in Wales.
Yeah, he's Welsh.
Sean, what's wrong with you? Why do you have no hair anymore?
What do I have? I can't better recognise you with the new hair. Oh yeah, well I got kind of bored and like things in my life changed. So I was like, well, I was carrying a lot of baggage, so I just got rid of it. And it's actually so much easier to maintain like this now as well.
Yeah,
shower, yeah, it's about 2 minutes. It's just like, vroom, gone. Maybe one day I'll grow it back, but for now I'm just like, no, I'm easy. It's easier just to keep it shorter at this moment in time. Any plans for tomorrow, Tom? What are you up to?
No, nothing tomorrow. Nothing. I think it's going to be a relaxing weekend. I'm going to try and finish God of War. So, as I am, I put time aside to try and complete a computer game. It's better instead of making other arrangements.
Oh god, yeah.
Because I got God of War Ragnarok on the PS5. I got like a bundle, like Harry did. Mine came with God of War Ragnarok, and Joe bought Demon Souls for me.
Oh, nice.
So, for some reason, I also bought Elden Ring on PlayStation 5. It was just on special offer at John Lewis.
Oh, yeah. About like what games were there? And they were like, they don't really do that many games, but yeah.
I managed to order it online. I get that with. Oh no, sorry. I bought Elden Ring and God of War together from John Lewis online.
No,
because they were both on special offer.
So Evolution Geek. I'm actually watching movies for the Geek Union channel. First one I did was Brats the movie. Just wanted to put myself through pain for entertainment. That's basically what he does. Is it Brats or Brats?
Brats.
Oh, yeah, but it's a bit far. Maybe I need glasses.
Oh.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, well, it does look like Brats from here, but yeah, it is Brats. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I do need glasses. Oh, Paul, Sean, just never, ever wear your hair with a man bun. Absolutely, totally sissy. Sorry, Sean, my inside voice is broken in. No, that's never going to happen. Don't worry, especially now because it can't physically happen.
You did a man bun once, didn't you?
Did I do a man?
It was at your wedding, wasn't it?
Yeah, did it at your wedding?
Well, to be fair, it was kind of Jon Snow kind of
Let's
thing.
explain this. I will respectfully disagree. This man right here at my wedding did a man bun because he wasn't going to cut his hair and I wasn't going to ask him to. But in 40-degree temperature, through in Cyprus.
Fucking hell.
And in 40-degree temperature.
Yeah, he got married in Cyprus
because it was like 3 times cheaper
So
than.
not Kingston then.
Also, the laws are different.
And the laws are different. It's easy to get rid of her. But this guy was sweating like a beast with a man bun, and quite frankly, he was beautiful for it.
Thanks. I'm so glad that story got
out in the wider world. So there you go, Paul.
This is why Harry said I never want to do a live stream.
To be fair, it's like man bun stories. Sean say it ain't so.
We've already sung enough songs.
It's not
We've already done enough musicals today.
We've done far too many, and he's not happy until there's more because Drunk Jack's an arsehole. We know this.
No, vodka Drunk Jack is, but that's funny. Beer Drunk Jack's fine. It's just Jack.
I really hate Doom. It's terrible.
Jack, thanks for the truth. Yeah.
Well, there's no harm in spreading the truth, especially when it's about Harry. Harry's truths.
Yeah. It's not your truth, but it's my truth.
I come here, you
A random video I watched where it was the three of you around Sean's house. I can't remember which film you were watching. It may have been Doom. And Jack was visibly getting more and more annoyed.
Yeah, that was the one.
Was it Doom? And he was just a bit like, all right then.
It was like a pint and a half of vodka over 3 pints mixed in with.
I still think he was getting his own back from me just poo-pooing his Doctor Who ideas, but you know.
Probably, but at the same time, I was getting wankered. So
yeah. Then he ended up passing out on my toilet. And then I ended up finding him still passed out on the toilet an hour later. And then about 4 o'clock in the morning, he just became normal Jack again. Yeah, it was like, what
from the grave?
What the fuck's going on?
It was almost like Undertaker just sat up.
Logic's finest. I agree with you on that. Logic's finest.
Yeah. Segue. I walked away from Doctor Who. It's dead now. RTD can't save it. He only tripled down on the woke mob crazy brain boast. Yeah, I mean, he has got progressively more progressive. If that makes sense. So it's one of those ones we were talking about before.
Progressively more degenerate.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't think I'm ever going to fully turn down and say, no, it's completely gone. But I will very much say it's like, I'll wait for reviews to come out, then I'll watch. I won't watch when it comes out. Because, one, that denies them viewing figures. But, two, if it's good, they'll get the viewing figures later on when I watch it later on. So it doesn't hurt them too much, but it'll hurt them enough. And I think at the same time, that basically protects me in terms of a fan, because it means I don't have to watch shit if other people that I trust are telling me it's crap. But also it means that if it's actually good, they'll still get something from it. And I think that's...
But we've also got to make a YouTube channel in which people want to watch our content.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, we got 4 viewers right now.
Tom's face is like, fuck you, I'm not doing your editing anymore.
Yeah, so Tom, I want you to edit Santa hat on Sean, reindeer horns on Harry, and me in a hula dress for the entire video.
You all do it now. You all spend the whole weekend doing that now. You do know that.
I think Jack's had enough. I agree. We were saying before you came online that it probably should have gone on hiatus for about 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I think this is like, it's almost like the BBC's last roll of the dice. Get RTD back in, get Tennant back in. It's the only way we can transition back from Whittaker's female doctor to another male doctor.
Yeah.
So we would avoid any form of backlash with that if we have David Tennant come back, because he's the most popular and beloved of the new Who doctors. So clearly this has been planned for a while, but I don't know. I just think it's...
I don't know. That trailer just seems really underwhelming.
Yeah, I've just felt so underwhelmed by it. Yeah, I don't know. It's like even like taking the old school Doctor Who logo and revamping it. It just seems so. It just seems a little bit desperate from my point of view.
So
trying to lure all the fans back in again.
To address the
I will watch the first. I'll give it like Sean did with the Whittaker era, even though I didn't watch any of her episodes. I'm going to give it the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I'll at least finish the David Tennant, because he's only doing about 4 episodes, isn't he?
That's never a bad thing. Now, to address the 2 comments we just had here, first of all, Evolution, you're absolutely right. There are loads of opinions out there, but this is when critics come into play. Because if you know critics that have a similar point of view to yourself, you know that if you don't watch something, but they do, and they say whatever about it, it means you can trust them. Because it's kind of like, you don't just watch the one critic and take what they say as gospel truth. Yeah. You watch a few of them, and it's like, well, I watched 6 critics of whoever they are, and like 5 of them say they like it, 1 says they don't. Maybe I'll like it. You can give that a good chance from there. That's up to you. And that's fine, because that's where opinion comes in. Because you know what? I may think something's crap that you love, and vice versa. Doesn't matter. Point is, it's just about focusing on who you trust to tell you that it's going to be good. Logic's finest. Okay, you're right. Okay, yes, a lot of stuff is being marketed to the woke under 30 mob market these days.
I don't think they actually watch Doctor Who for the enjoyment. They watch it as part of.
The thing.
Well, look, we're watching this because it's progressive, but not actually because we understand the show.
It comes down to how much you trust progressive media. because access media is always going to say, "Oh, this is so good because of X, Y, Z," and it's usually going to be them
Breaking down boundaries.
Trying to make money.
Yeah, it's going to be like, this is the first black doctor. This is the first gay black doctor. This is the first gay black doctor who does a handstand. It's going to be some sort of weird twist on that mentality, which means they can say it's the first
of something
about something, and that's what they'll do. So they can try and make headlines to get newspapers. Exactly. Now, as for the thing is, when it comes to a lot of these woke people, it's like, okay, you know what? To be fair, a lot of them may well watch the episode. They may well have it on the TV in the background while they're doing the washing up. They might have it on like so they're making the dinner or something. It's fine. But at the same time, that doesn't change the fact that you're right, it's poor quality. But the thing is, they don't go buy the T-shirts, they don't go buy the toys, they don't go to the conventions, they don't go do any of that. Which means, like a good chunk of the money, like most of the money, like 60% or higher, I don't know what the percentages would be. I'm sure you guys probably might know better than me for that.
It's not even that.
It's like,
to be honest.
It's like a good chunk of the money that the BBC and the Doctor Who could make isn't being made because, you know what, 6 30-something-year-olds who live in the same flat, in a flat share, because that's what they can afford, living over each other with their rainbow hair dye. It's like, you know, I'm not going to say that they're wrong because they all have Doctor Who on the TV when they're doing the washing up. But if they're not going to conventions and buying stuff like we used to, it's kind of like they can see where the viewing figures are. They can see where the merchandising is. There is always someone watching where the money is, and that's what the thing is. It's like a lot of people.
That's basically what I was saying, Paul. Who's going, a lot of the woke mob isn't actually watching. Yeah, the under 30s. They're not watching because they want to watch Doctor Who. They're watching as a sort of movement because they think
it can't be perceived to be a failure because the thing they're really trying to push for.
Exactly. They spent all this time going, 10 million, that was such a good view, and then their 10 million views went down to 7, 6,
and then their excuses
five,
were, viewing habits have changed. 4, in the same
3.
season?
Yes, by the end of the 5 years, we're like at the point where we've got the worst viewing figures of Doctor Who. Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I will always praise Chris Chibnall for one thing, and that's Battlefield is no longer the lowest viewed Doctor Who episode when it was aired. And I think it was a massive injustice because
Battlefield's not that bad.
It's actually not that bad.
The thing is, and you're right, the woke mob isn't actually watching, but what you have to remember is there is always someone watching the money. There is someone watching how many people watch the show, how many people buy the T-shirts, how many people buy the DVDs, how many people buy the toys, what's being sold, who it's being sold to, what the licenses cost to all these various companies that it goes out to. And this is what they're watching. And this is why when I say things like wokeness will be dead in like 3 or 4 years, I have no proof that it's going to happen.
Oh, no, we based that on South Park, didn't we?
I know. As a joke, we did back like 8 years ago when they said it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you think about it, right, people are always watching the money. And it's kind of like, if they know things don't sell, if someone wants to do something, it's going to be like, yeah, well, you can't do that because it's not going to make you any money. And for all the woke people saying, oh, yeah, but it's so good for the image, there's someone saying, like, yeah, if you don't make me no money, I'm going to do it. There's always someone like that who holds enough of the purse strings and they're in the right place. That's always the point. And
do you mind if I ask a question? How did the Whittaker era do in America?
It was
non-existent.
Yeah.
It didn't even air BBC America as far as I was aware. Although maybe someone will correct me on that one.
Because the Tennant and Smith era was very popular in America.
Yeah. It actually started to dwindle towards the end of the Capaldi era, to be quite honest.
That doesn't surprise me because he had rubbish to work with.
Yeah.
And the thing is, to go to Logic's point there, it's like having an openly gay doctor and having an openly trans companion isn't a bad thing, depending on how they write it and what they do with it. Now,
if it's like the source of the story, then no, fuck off. But if it's just part of their character, then
if it's the doctor who just happens to be gay now, fine. If it's like if it's the companion's just a companion who just happens to be trans, fine. But I'm kind of following your logic where it's like that's not good. Logic's finest.
Clues in the name, Jack.
Clues in the name. Where it's going to be a case of like, look, they're doing it to make points on a checklist that no one sees. Yeah, it's going to suck if that's what they're doing. And it will be bad. And I have no I have no evidence in my mind and no proof that it's going to be good or bad, but I just don't feel it in my heart that it's going to be good. And I just think that
I think there is a sense that the tide is turning because like Top Gun Maverick was a huge success last year.
People
it was just a balls to the wall fun action film. There was no message behind it or anything like that. It was just great action with a great cast of characters with a pretty decent story to back it up. And although I wasn't too fussed about Avatar, from what I've gathered, the second film that came out recently has been a tremendous success as well. And once again, there's no from what I've gathered, there's no major in-your-face. It pushes the emphasis of the importance of family and things like that. So there was that one episode of Doctor Who where they made like a father out to be completely and utterly hopeless. I think the guy with the Slayer shirt, they made him out to be hopeless in every sense of the word. Whereas in Avatar, it was the complete and utter opposite. They placed a large emphasis on like the importance of family, and the films made so much money. Because people, it's just like a fun film for people and families to go and watch in the cinema. Same with Maverick. And from what I've gathered, with the exception of like I don't know anybody who liked Thor, Love and Thunder. I don't particularly know anybody I don't really know anybody who's excited for Captain Marvel 2. I know plenty of people who love the latest Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
So
I'll say for Thor: Love and Thunder, Christian Bale really did try to make his character good, but he's only one person. For Logic's point there, it's like, you know what? I don't disagree with you at all. I actually completely agree with you. It's kind of like, I'm sure that the fact that he's black and gay is literally a tick box thing for the BBC. It has nothing to do with him as a person. It has nothing to do with the story that they're going to tell or that they want to tell. And in fact, the only reason they have anything to do with the story that they want to tell is because they want to be like, he's black and gay.
Yeah. And then his follow-on point from that, I agree, because he says, should have heard me 1,000 times, if you want open gay minority characters and creative. Yeah, exactly. And the trouble with that is they know that it's not going to sell on an original IP, so they have to sort of cannibalize something that has existed and been popular for so long because we have to reflect the world we live in. Why? I don't want to reflect the world we live in when I'm time traveling in a fucking box.
That's not true. It can sell. You just have to put in a lot of work to make it sell. And they can't do that or don't want to do that. And that's the problem. Well, you could make a black trans character who's a Time Lord really interesting if you wanted to, but you have to put in a lot of fucking work and be a really good writer to do it. And none of the people at the BBC have my faith or confidence to actually be that way.
But why does any of that have to do with like
an alien
fighting Daleks?
But that's why you have to be a really good writer to do that.
I can see what you're saying.
And they're not that good. No. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The big issue. My main issue with Doctor Who, it's not. I mean, I can do without the messages and the political. Yeah, I get it. I get it. The political messaging is very clear, but I just think the stories and the writing is just crap. I don't think anybody in that show. I don't think Whittaker, from what I saw, was a particularly good actress. I felt she was totally miscast as the Doctor. Yeah. If you're going to have a female Doctor Who, I feel there were so many better choices out there than Jodie Whittaker.
Well,
I found her Doctor, like, I just don't know how you could market that her character, her version of the Doctor abroad.
No,
like she spoke with.
She didn't have
not that there's a major, not that we have a problem with Northern accents, but that would be very difficult to market and sell in America, for example.
Difficult to market. You could still do it. You just have to put the work in, and then clearly not interested in putting in the work to make this happen.
Yeah.
I think with Marvel, it really depends on, like with the latest Spider-Man film, you can tell that was made by people who really loved the Sam Raimi films, and they loved, they really did their homework with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man films, and they were able to bring all these character heroes and villains together and make, although it was very sad in parts, it made you feel pretty good at the same time. Like I just had a massive smile on my face when I saw Tobey Maguire, on the suit on again, because I loved
because he really did get screwed over by Sony in that time. So it was nice that he actually had like his part to play in saving someone's life.
Yeah. But they poke fun at things like that. Like he was like, "Oh, I fought some black alien goo thing at one point," and Andrew Garfield's like, "I fought this doctor who wanted to turn everybody into a lizard." So it is quite self-aware.
So, did Loki notice that they said that Tobey Maguire was a better Spider-Man than Andrew Garfield with the whole web shooting bit where they were doing their little web shoot off?
Oh yeah, so where else did you think from?
Where it's like, they're web shooting at each other, but Tobey Maguire gets the web shooter on Andrew Garfield, but he doesn't get one.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's like a natural ability he has to do
better than you. Love it. Sorry,
agreed, Paul. This is something that myself and Jack and Harry have talked about several times about Michelle Gomez was a better fit for the Rani, especially like when you have her, the way that Death in Heaven, I fucking hate that episode, but the fact that she just felt more like the Rani in what she was doing. Like she was experimenting on the dead. And that's not something that really the Master would do. He'd just be like, yeah.
It's not the Master wouldn't have done it. It's just the Master would do it in a very different way.
Well, no, he would just want to kill the Doctor. That's it. You just want to get an army and kill the Doctor. Not give this fucking shit about like cyber. Oh, I'll give you an army because it's your birthday. No, fuck off with that shit.
Yeah.
But Michelle Gomez herself was great, and I can't fault her for trying what she did.
Yeah, it's like, and this is one of the things I do want to kind of like. And I think I've tried to do this a few times already, but I'm just going to say it again.
Yeah.
I want to give credit to the actors where it's due, because I think they get a hard enough job, because ultimately they're handling...
Yeah, when they're not shooting their mouth out in the press about how virtuous they are.
When they're shooting their mouth off in the press, that's when it's free game to call them bastards or whatever. That's fine. But when it's them like on a set and they're given the script and it's like, okay, look, that's what you have to do. You've got to play pretend and make that work. And if it's stupid and if it's very stupid, then it's like, I think there's so much they can do with that. And it's like, should the Doctor only ever be a straight white man?
No, agreed. Because that's who Doctor is. That's his. It's just like that's the Time Lord that the Doctor is, and it's only something that, to be fair, Stephen Moffat thrown a fucking spanner in the works with the Doctor's wife episode. She was a bad girl once. It's like,
Well, Stephen Moffat already shot himself in the foot, because the thing is, they very clearly say that they kind of allude to the fact that Time Lords can change gender. Okay, fine.
But it means Time Lords that's only a late new series revelation.
That's only a late new series revelation, but it's only very much a case if the Time Lord wants to. What's the first thing Matt Smith does when he regenerates? I'm a girl! No! No.
Yeah, doesn't really know.
The Doctor at several thousand years old doesn't want to be a girl.
Yeah.
Boom, there you go. That's your
I see what Evolution of the Geek. We just missed it. He mentioned the point about the TV license fees, and I think that is true to an extent. But absolutely. I think they're also desperate to get Doctor Who abroad again. I think they want it to be a global show again, because the license fee would only be able to carry it so far. And I think this is kind of a make or break moment for the show. And I think when you look at the way they talk about it on Twitter, there's always posts about it. They've redesigned the old school Doctor Who logo. They brought David Tennant back, Catherine Tate's back. When the show was at its absolute...
It's the same show. Just saying with Evolution Gate, apparently BBC don't have the rights to the Rani. That's interesting. That's probably, because you would have thought they would have brought her back in some shape or form in the new series, because they pretty much have with every other classic villain, disregarding a few. But to be fair, I don't know if they'd be able to do it justice anyway, because it'd just be like the way they would do it now would be, it's just the Master but female, but not the Master. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm probably gonna have to shoot off in a minute, because it's like,
no worries. I'm gonna have to shoot off in a bit. But I think I think their main goal is to try and get the people talking positive about speaking positive about Doctor Who again, and I think they really want to make it a global
distribution back, which they
want people to be in America talking about it again. They want to try and get close to how it was, if not how popular it was when would it be, series 4, series 5, that sort of peak. But it's going to take a lot of work, I think they're kind of, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Well,
I definitely look like a hobbit compared to these two with them.
Well, you guys can carry on, but I've got to bugger off to get the train. But Paul, Malcolm, nice one, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Carry on. You guys.
No, I think I might have to finish this.
Oh yeah, fair enough. But anyway, Tom, thank you for joining us late on.
Okay, guys, thanks for having me on. Last hour.
It worked out quite nicely in the end, didn't it?
No, it's been fun. It's been good interacting with people.
Yeah.
Tom, I want to catch you because I want us to do another Dragon Ball Z video, specifically the movies this time, because I want to kill Dragon Ball Z in your heart just that little bit more, because I can see your expression, and it's gonna be good.
Well, luckily the movies can be done in one video, so
I
want to take.
And Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Cheers.
Yeah,
thanks. This is the first time I've probably said
Happy New Year. Yeah, exactly. And this is been interesting.
Yeah, sure. You have to watch the Human Centipede.
Yeah, that was at the same time we watched.
I have seen it. It's great. The Serbian film is a lot worse. So yeah, watch the Serbian film, Paul. If you think the Human Centipede is bad, you ain't seen shit.
I don't think YouTube will allow us to do a stream.
Oh yeah, no, he wants. Oh yeah, I think you just meant like in private, but maybe we could just comment on it.
Are you sure to chat do a review? Fine, we've got a review now. So
very difficult to make.
Serbian film on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was Rob's fault in the first place.
Yeah, we'll have to get Rob back.
Yeah, he'll probably just join for that, and that's it. And then he'll be gone for another 6 months.
So the Human Centipede's on YouTube. The whole film. I was just looking at the comment. Logic's Finest is saying the Human Centipede is on YouTube. What, the whole film?
Amazing! If it is, then yeah.
If I got Sean and Rob and super glued them together like the Human Centipede and recorded it on my phone outside.
No, the cuttlefish! I'm sorry, Carl.
Yeah, I was about to say you could watch the Human Centipede episode.
Dry rice.
Paul goes, you made me watch. No one made you watch that, Paul. No one made you watch it.
To be fair, our videos have only really been from 3 onwards. Yeah. So you made your choice.
Yeah, exactly.
That's on
you 3 to 6.
You keep telling everybody it's the best thing since sliced bread.
It is the best thing since sliced bread.
In terms of
arguing me, makes you.
It's so good, it's bad. Then yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna head off because I'm gonna get the train. But yeah.
Take care, guys. I'll see you guys very soon then, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Take it easy, Tom, and everyone in the chat.
Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Cheers. Cheers, guys. Vasos.
He doesn't know how to turn it off.
It's called end broadcast.
Don't end broadcast. No. Be safe.
You too, Paul. Take care, man. Sean and Jack have watched your reviews. Good man. Good man.
You're the one person who has.